loading. Well, it comes on the screen all at once. All right, how's everyone doing? Sorry, I had to play that intro a couple of times because I'm like behind a little bit. So, hello everybody. I hope everyone is doing well today. Hey, we got Cass, T-Vex. Hey, Douglas. T Mecca, Mika, Bradley. I saw Luna in here somewhere too. Hey, Natasha. Victoria. Yeah, Magic by Luna. There she is. Yeah, Andrew. Anyone else? I think we're good. Okay. All right. Was I need Witchtok coverage at this point. Yeah. At least something different. You know what I mean? I didn't try very hard for today. I was just like, I'm just gonna put on fake lashes and that's it. Like I put on fake lashes and I put on like a bit of whatever you call it, blush and contour. That's about it. But yeah, I hope everyone's good. Yeah, like Luna said too, don't forget to like the stream, folks. Okay, so this is our next installment of Witchtok, and I do have fans going. If they do get too annoying, just let me know. All right. So this is our next installment of Witchtok. For those of you who hadn't checked out the other ones, we did 2 other streams with Witchtok, and we were looking at the coverage done by, shoot, what is her name again? Hold on. What is her name? Oh, I think she changed her channel name to Chamber Graves now. Okay. Well, her channel is now called Chamber Graves. I can see it there. Okay. So we were watching her, and then yeah, I have a bit of art and stuff back here now. Hey, Dust. So we were watching her because she did a bit of coverage where she was covering everything that's blown up in Witchtok and everything that's blown up amongst the TikTok spiritual community or whatever. It all started with Alex reads tarot and her quitting tarot to become a Christian, you know, born again Christian, whatever. So that's where everything started. But then from there, Witchtok kind of like imploded after that, because people were like knee-jerk reacting before you get a chance to see what kind of Christian she's going to be. And yeah, I know she turned out to be like what everyone said she's going to be, but that's not really the point. So then people were upset because like people are knee-jerk reacting, or some people were just like kind of like wait and see. Some people were like, oh my God, who cares? Move on. Like, you know, and then that caused a bunch of fighting. And then the fighting led to a bunch of people like lying about stuff, and then people being harassed, and it's just it's so much fucking drama. So that's what's been going over on TikTok. So when we were last here together, we were watching Kellyanne Maddox's stuff a little bit, because I really like, she does coverage of like these ex-witches turn Christian kind of deal. And I really like her videos on that. And I do like some of the views that she has on a lot of things too. I do find her very, I don't know, it's very informative, and she makes you think, like she makes you think a little bit, right? About what's going on in the world. So she was hinting of doing a video. Where is it? Is it still there? Okay. Oh, there's the post. Okay. Here, let me just bring it down. Hold on. Let's just do this. This will be easier. One sec. Hold on. Let me grab the green stuff. Grab the green stuff so that my head doesn't go all wonky because of my black hair. Cover the chair in the green. Okay. Hey, Laz Schmaz. I just got back in the car, saw a notification. Yeah, we just started, so we're good. We're good. All right. That should help a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's going to be better than it was. Okay, so... Oh, right. I should probably bring up the screen. Duh. Okay, so she did this post here, and essentially calling out Alex Reed's tarot because after after a few days in or a weekend, or I don't even friggin' know when she quit, maybe a weekend, Alex Reed's tarot then started doing videos where she was pretty much saying that people that do tarot and people that are in this community and stuff are like whatever, there's demons, they're bad, they're evil, go in hell, Satan, blah blah blah, usual crap that Christians, not all Christians, like evangelical Christians say. There are some good Christians out there. I'm not knocking them all. They're just, the bad Christians are louder, and that's what most of us see. It's like you see a bunch of people complaining about someone online, but it's like there's a lot of other people that have no problem with that person, right? Because it's the complainers that get loud, and the people that are happy don't say anything. So she did this post, and when we were in the last live, I was saying, oh, if she does a video, we definitely have to cover it. And her video still wasn't out. We saw it in the first live, and the second live, the video still wasn't out, but then she released the video. So she released it earlier this week. So we're going to check out this video, and it's called Christian Ex-Witches Are Loud and Wrong. And Alex Reed's tarot joins the chorus. Yes. So here, actually, I will also post this video in the chat so you guys can go follow after if you haven't already followed. All right. Okay, so we're going to start off with this video, and we're going to talk about it as we go, but we're going to do a little bit of a sound check here, as we always do. So let's see how loud this is going to be. And as always, I'm still not logged into my account that has premium on it because I don't even know, a dumbass, but anyway. Okay, checking sound.
Welcome back to my channel. I am back to serve up some more satanic panic.
Does that sound okay to you guys? Let me know if it sounds. I'll give you guys a second. Also, hey Ken, how's it going? Yeah, just let me know if that sounds okay. It looks okay on the OBS, but OBS lies. Well, it doesn't lie. It has limits to its whatever the heck this thing is called, the meters. It doesn't properly show me. It's good? Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to watch this. We're going to pause it as we go and talk about stuff and everything. It's a little lower than my voice. Okay.
With a side helping of sass. I am back to serve up some more satanic panic with a side helping of sass.
Hopefully that's a little bit better. I can turn down my voice because my voice is high because you guys were complaining last time. So, oh wait, the desktop audio is low. Hold on. This might fix it.
I love your confidence. You're always telling yourself how you're beautiful, how you're talented, how you're gonna win. You're also a pathological liar.
We're going to go through some testimonies today and see what are they saying about us behind our backs after they leave the craft. Yes, the ex-witches are out in force, just chatting breeze, to be completely frank with you, and we're going to break it down. If you haven't seen an episode of
also, she does do a lot of coverage of these ex-witches turning Christian. It's very entertaining and interesting. Keep in mind, most of the time, what she's covering, I personally don't believe that they were ever witches at any point. I think that a lot of them are creating rage bait content or creating content to help the church or whatever the hell it might be, right? So this is the first time that we really know for sure this is someone that came from these communities and became Christian. The other ones are kind of there's a few here and there that we know for sure, I guess. Well, there's one that she covered that definitely we did know for sure. But the other ones that I watch her cover, you can't really trace them back. And I think there's a lot of them that are doing performative stuff or rage baiting or whatever, grow on TikTok or help their church. So the majority of what Kellyanne Maddox does cover, I will say, they're not ex-witches. Some of them are, though. And this one is. Was Alex Reed tarot? Did she do witchcraft, too, or did she just do tarot? Because I feel like she was just doing tarot, but I don't know her very well. So I never really followed her.
Christian ex-witches before. It's usually populated with the kinds of testimonies that are so packed with misinformation and malicious judgment that you're either going to click right off or you're going to grab your popcorn and surrender.
I do have tiaras around here somewhere. We bought them for our birthdays one year, me, KK, and Danny, and we wore them during a stream. We do have tiaras, and I have them somewhere.
To the madness. Either way, it's completely up to you, but I need to give you a couple of disclaimers before we begin. First of all, if you have religious trauma, you need to know right now that I am going to be looking at clips of people saying that we are hellbound, that we are demonic, all that kind of stuff, that we are everything but a child of the one true God. So if that's not your flavor, please click off now and find something else to watch on my channel. I do lots of different videos about witchcraft, tarot, and self-development. So you're bound to find something that fits you a bit more. Your mental well-being comes first, and I do not want to trigger any religious trauma. I also want to mention, my darlings, that I'm not talking about Christianity in general. I am merely analysing the words from the testimonies that I'm going to be listening to today. I'm not actually in the habit of judging 2.4 billion people the exact same way, so I am not talking about all Christians. So please don't get at me down in the comments talking about not all Christians, hashtag not all Christians, all right? Because there's no bloody point, all right?
Okay, so Luna said that, yes, she didn't do witchy stuff a lot, so she came from, like, the spiritual community, at least. But yeah, I'll try to find the other video. There is one that she did a longer video on that definitely was a witch first, so, and that one was interesting. Also, yes, I will say, like, Kellyanne is very fair with Christians. She really is very fair with them. She's not a Christian hater. Like, I've always been a Christian hater, but after, like, listening to what she has to say about it, I'm like, yeah, no, like, I'm probably wrong to do a blanket statement of all Christians, because it's not all Christians, right? It's a lot of them, but it's not all of them, right? So, you know, definitely don't send her any hate too, because, like, she actually is really fair. If there's any Christians watching this, she actually is very fair with Christianity. It's the evangelical Christians that we tend to have our issues with, right? And everyone who's in the witch, like, communities, we have issues with Christians because we connect with, you know, our ancestors, and like, they were all killed for being pagan medicine women, you know, cunning folk, things like that. So never saw her claim to be a witch. Okay, yeah, and that's the thing, like, she could have still been a Christian reading tarot. There's tons of them out there. Like, friggin' Teresa Caputo, she's a medium, and she says she's Catholic, right? Sylvia Brown was apparently Jewish and Catholic and friggin' everything under the sun. She picked up every religion just to use it as an excuse, but yeah.
Let's find out what our former fellow practitioners and business peers are saying about us now that they're walking in the light of the one true God. Are they calling their former goddesses demons in disguise? Are they burning their tarot cards? Are they trying to shill something?
What fools the nations are to rage against the Lord.
Let's find out. Get comfortable, get your emotional support crystals ready, because I have a feeling that we're going to need them for this one, my loves. Let's do it. Sheer levels of smug in this one for me, babes. I can taste it, and it is so gross. It's so gross.
Okay, sorry, I meant to
I
pause it. I want to pause it on. What did she say? Me driving home after being banned from a goddess manifestation full moon. Kako? Wait, what the frick is that? Coco? Kako? Crystal, Mary Magdalene, Priestess, Mystery, Spell, Rich. Okay, she's making fun of witches. This is like her trying to do a meme. But at least they know now Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. Sylvia Brown, the real life version of that character in The Mummy. Yeah. Did you see Christians praying at a witchy pagan festival? Honestly, here, no. So Canada is, like, really chill about a lot of religious stuff. Even though we're going through a weird maple mega phase right now, people still don't really push the God and stuff. People in Canada that are picking that up, they're just racist. They're just finding an excuse to be openly racist. But even those openly racist people in Canada, they still don't preach God. Like it is very interesting because we have a lot of churches, people attend them, but people just don't. We don't have evangelical Christians. I think that's what it is in Canada. We don't have evangelical. There are a few churches out there. We have one in my city where they do born again Christianity, and they take in like addicts and things like that, and they do the 12 step and they feed them into this like born again church. And then those people that tend to go down that path, they tend to be more evangelical and they will try to convert you and stuff. So yeah, it's all over the internet. It's so sad and disrespectful. Yeah. I think it's one of the funniest moments, the original. Oh wait, which one are we talking about? If she starts playing Petra, I'm going to have a fit. I grew up next door to the original PTL with Tammy Faye. I don't know if I know who that is. What is that? Also, hold on, wait. I was going to Google this cacao. Wait, I could do it on here. It's just so loud. What the frig is this? Cacao? Cacao? Fruit pods? Cocoa? What? Cacao made from unroasted or minimally processed beans at low temperature. I think that she didn't realize what she was writing there. Anyway, okay.
Oh no, it is the sheer levels of smug in this one for me, babes. I can taste it. And it is so gross. It's so gross. I don't think she actually did this, obviously. I think she's being sarcastic because she's calling it like a goddess, crystal, Mary Magdalene, full moon manifestation ritual workshop or whatever. So it's basically code, essentially. It's code for the general vibe that she is against. So she's basically saying, I don't believe in freedom of religion. I'm a religious fascist. And I like to drive down the road fantasizing about gate crashing spiritual events where people are just minding their own fucking business and just making them feel like shit, trying to convert them.
Like, honestly, though, I know this happens more in America. It doesn't really happen in Canada. Some of them will show up to like Pride Fest. So let's even like do like an example of Pride. It's the same deal. It's like, we all don't go into your churches and cast spells or dance in hot pants with our, rainbow flags. So why are you coming into our house? You know what I mean? And preaching God. We know God exists. All of us know God exists, by the way. We're aware. We chose this path instead, and you can't force things on people. And this is what I always would tell a certain somebody that, my friends know. He would always pick fights with us. And I'm like, yelling at people is, I said to him multiple times, yelling at people is not how you get them to see your side. So like coming in preaching, telling people that they're evil or wrong or whatever, it gets people's like defenses more up. So you're never going to convert someone like that. And I've had someone in the comments on some of my videos, and I said that to one of them one time, and they were like, well, then how do you propose I convert people? I'm like, just tell them about what God means to you. Tell them about the good things that Jesus has done and why maybe your church is part of your community. Because that's one thing I will say, as witches, we don't have a great community, like access to a community, like definitely online, but we don't have anything in person where we can like see people weekly who have like a similar interest, and we can sort of like use community resources and stuff. Like that is one thing that is missing with alternative, spiritual practices, right? So that's the only thing that I really do like about the churches. And I like it about the synagogues here, especially. I don't know about other places, but the Jewish communities here in Ontario are like so tight knit. They got each other's back. They help each other. Everything, like no one would be starving or on the street in the Jewish community. Christian, yeah, but Jewish, no. It's super like tight knit, and they really do help each other. And that's the only thing like I've always been sort of interested in when it comes to Abrahamic religions, is just the community is like so much stronger, bigger, and they have access to things. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I would say. But the thing is, like, there's just so much hatred attached to Abrahamic religions that this is why I don't like to follow them. And I used to go to my friends' churches, by the way. Like my one friend, sorry, we're on a side tangent. My one friend, she was part of one of those churches that does the spiritual healing. And there's like people on the ground, like writhing and like freaking out and stuff like that. It was interesting. I went because I'm like, oh, I want to see this in person. I've seen it on TV, right? And it was funny because this is not a common thing that you find very easily in Canada. So it wasn't even in a church. It was in a strip mall, and they were renting out like an office space. It was the most dive bar church I've ever seen in my life, but it was like very fascinating to me. And my friend was going there because they were letting her train to become a preacher, and it's very difficult for a woman to like be a preacher in a lot of religions. And she was also born again, but she went down the path of like spiritual healer church instead of the 12-step church, right? She was an addict, sorry. But it was very interesting. And that's the thing, I've always gone to my friends' churches and stuff just to see what's up. And it was only the born agains that ever tried to convert. All the other ones were just chill, you know? And yeah, Jewish communities in your area close to, yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like, there are problems with a lot of religion. Don't get me wrong. Lots of problems. Lots of people who have taken advantage of religion. But like the community stuff is really cool. Like that's the thing that I would say is like, what we're missing in a lot of our like alternative religions, you know. Sorry, rant, I know, over, sorry.
You know, she likes to daydream apparently about how she like barged through the doors of a Mary Magdalene crystal event, and
come on, the stupid thing,
just making them feel like shit, trying to convert them, you know. She likes to daydream.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill these headphones, I swear
about
to God.
gate crashing spiritual events where people are just minding their own fucking business and just making them feel like shit, trying to convert them, you know. She likes to daydream apparently about how she like barged through the doors of a Mary Magdalene crystal event, and she started preaching to all the witchy bitches in her fucking, I don't know, Christian girly starter pack fast fashion hat. It's always been you. There are a lot of memes about those Christian hats, come on, let's face it.
Like, why do they all look the same? Like, this is the only thing, though, right? Like, they really do dress the same. And it's not like I know a lot of witches have a similar eclectic style, but we all are very unique, I think, in a lot of our dressing. And some witches you wouldn't even know was a witch. So, you know. But I just think it's funny, the beige aesthetic. Speaking of Jesus Christ Superstar is an awesome film. Got to meet Tim Rice when I was in college. Absolutely wonderful guy. Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah. I'm liberal Jewish, and we are really, well, liberal. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of liberal Christians, a lot of liberal Jews. Jews. I meant to say Jews, sorry. I was saying Jewish, and then it came out weird. I did once walk in on the Archbishop of Canterbury banging on about converting people of other faiths. Really? The Archbishop was doing that? I thought that they were kind of cooler than that at this point, because they realize that it's annoying.
Those hats are all the rage. They are all the rage. It is definitely part of the stereotype. Okay. I just don't like this one. I don't think there's really that much more to be said about it. I mean, really, all she did was get in the car, select some generic beige worship music, and just, you know, wear all new levels of smug on her face, deciding that she's so clever for putting a video like this together. Honestly, if heaven is going to be full of people like this, then I will take my chances as a bride of Satan, quite honestly, because yeah, the levels of smug are through the roof. On a very serious note though, I do find the boldness of Christians like this who choose to harass us at events and gate crash our events and stuff. I find that kind of boldness absolutely grotesque. It is giving very much like freedom of religion for me, but not for thee type of thing. And that just always rubs me up the wrong way, as it should all people that think with any amount of common sense and human decency. We are seeing more of this kind of rhetoric and more of this encouragement of the gate crashing of pagan events or the storming of witchy stores. We're
like this is definitely happening more under this administration. I did hear, I don't know which state or whatever it was, but I heard that they're trying to pass some bill or something where they'll like arrest you for Christian hate, but like they're including like that if you're not Christian that you could be arrested for not being Christian or something like that. I gotta dig this up. I was like, this is wild. Like, okay, you can you can believe in God as long as you're Christian, you know? But yeah, no, this world we're in right now is doing wild shit, man.
Seeing
Yeah.
all of that kind of thing a lot more in the US. I actually know personally several witches that have been in the vicinity when things like this have happened. So it's definitely getting more common to see. It's actually getting worse here in the UK as well. I know that last year I did the Samhain Society Festival, which is Tree Cars Festival that takes place in Margate in the UK. And the
I would love
opening
to do
night of the
that.
Samhain Society Festival was gatecrashed by a Christian organization who wanted to preach the word to all the good witches that were down having a great time on the beach. So, you know, the infection is becoming truly fucking transatlantic at this point, and I don't think anybody involved in the Samhain Society was expecting that in Margate in the UK. And I honestly think that is highly ironic considering that the originators of this brand.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's gonna start happening, I think, more here at some point. Just Canada's never really been religious much, but Europe, like they still practice a lot of old world festivals and stuff. I'd love to go to these things because we don't really do that. You don't really find that easily here, so it'd be really cool to do that. One time my son saw a family dressed up coming out of Jack in the Box, and he commented that they're rich. I told him no, they're just church folk. Yeah. Why do my eyes always go to Amy Winehouse on the wall? Mine do too. I mean, she's got a kind of Amy Winehouse look to her as well. Like, she kind of does. Fuck's sakes, the 1600s called. They want their religious laws back. Yeah. That's the thing. If there was, I don't know what I would do. Like, if I saw someone in the witchy shop, because there's only like one here in my city. My city's very conservative and very white, by the way. Okay. So, like, it's not fully a witchy shop. They sell books too, which helps them kind of skirt by a lot of backlash. But that's the thing, there's like backlash with these shops, but they're like not showing up to the shop in person. Like they'll be like talking crap about it like in other places, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I would probably step up to them and be like, do you want me to cast a spell on you? Do you want me to pray for you? You know, like, I don't know, I might do something like that. I'm not sure. Because, like, whenever there was, like, Christian evangelicals, or not evangelicals here, but whatever, the born again usually, when they would try to convert me, I would actually have a religious discussion with them. This is what I used to do. Except I don't entertain Jehovah's Witnesses because they won't get the fuck out of your house. So I won't do that. But if I run into someone in the wild, then I tend to have a religious discussion with them. And it's usually not bad, actually. It usually ends up pretty much at a draw between the two of us. So there used to be festivals all over the place, but it wound down around 2015 in your area. Yeah, that sucks. I know. I wish there was more stuff around here. There just really isn't. And so I'm in Ontario. So like sort of Southern Ontario, like in the GTA, which is Greater Toronto area. It's more liberal, like there's more liberal people, but it's city, right? There's really no one practicing stuff. There's probably people like practicing like small covens and stuff indoors, but you don't get the full like festival experience, you know? And there used to be a festival that was run here, but that was actually created and organized and ran by that witch that I told you guys about that was pretending to be an Indigenous person by taking the last name of someone that she divorced. But yeah, anyway. That was like the only one. I never went to it because I'm like, no, you're evil. Like you're pretending to be Indigenous. You dye your hair black, you go to the tanning bed, and you stole your husband's name. Like, I mean, you married him for like a month or something. It was so dumb. She literally married him to seal his name. She didn't even stay married to him for very long. Like it was so ridiculous. Anyway, Mormons are worse to get out of the house. Yeah, we don't get Mormons in Canada, or at least around here. We don't get Mormons. We get Jehovah's Witnesses. There's Mennonites around here as well. And they come into, like, so I used to work at Walmart. They would come into Walmart. It was like once every 2 weeks or once a month or something like that. The whole lot of them would come in and get supplies and stuff that they needed. I've always been curious about that. I'm like, can I like go to a Mennonite place? Just be like, hey, can I like just sit in on your sermons or whatever the fuck you're doing? Because I'm just curious. I am just curious about it, you know? I would upset them because I just got an ankh to go with all my not Christian symbols. I mean, I'm covered in not Christian symbols and on my back too. I don't know if you guys can see this. You guys see this? I don't know. Oh, the green might be in the way. Anyway. and then these, and then this. And anyway, but the born again don't care. They're like, we'll convert you, we'll change you, you'll change.
Of Christianity, if you like,
It's
made
so
their way
sad.
over there from this country on the boats, you know, a long time ago, the pilgrims. And now it's like we're having our old religious shit fed back to us all of a sudden. And we're having Christians rock up at our events. And I just find that to be just desserts, I would say. It's coming back to fucking haunt us, guys.
We Puritans have no place for drunkenness, or colorful clothes, or dreaming, or poetry. So if you write a sonnet, keep it under your bonnet.
So this woman's a witch, but she decides to do a little experiment. She says, you know what? I'll give Jesus a try just for 1 minute. Let's see what happens. Take a look.
Because I knew, you know, she kept telling me you can't do both. You can't like do witchcraft and be with Jesus. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do a little test. I'll just put it down for a minute and I'll try it out, and it's gonna be wrong, was essentially what I thought. So I tried it out, and I just experienced like such a sense of peace and love, unconditional love that I had never felt in my whole life. I can't even explain.
What? Okay, she picked Jesus up for just a second. What the hell does that mean? What'd she do? Like, did she go to church? Did she pray? Did she, like, what the fuck does this even mean? It's where, like, I just don't believe some of these people, because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how did you pick up Jesus for a second? And if you weren't feeling love previously as a witch, like, you can feel love from the universe and stuff. You just didn't tap into it. You know, I don't understand this. These are the ones I think are fake. These are the ones I think honestly are fake. Mennonites are non-judgmental. They're polite. Just saying, yeah, no, the Mennonites actually were pretty chill. Like, they would come into Walmart, I'd help them out with stuff, whatever. And I think it's more the Amish that are very, like, they have nothing, like no modern anything. Whereas the Mennonites do have some modern amenities. Oh, and you can go to the Mennonite market and you can buy like clothes and food and stuff. And it's like top quality stuff. They do like amazing stuff, amazing work. There are Christian witches. No, there are. And that's the thing too, is like, there are Christian witches. Like, I used to talk to Jehovah's Witnesses on my doorstep until they started saying things that blame science for people being gay and trans. Oh yeah, no, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Her edibles kicked in. Oh my God, that's what it is. Yep. So when she picked up Jesus, she picked up a Jesus-shaped edible. Yeah. The horrible noise in the background is what this dude added for creepy music, I guess. It was freaking stupid. So we don't have to call police when someone asks if we found Jesus. We now need to check our pockets in case he's that tiny. Yeah. Just gonna, you know what I need to get? Oh, what was it? Douglas? Are you the one that had the baby Jesus, or what the heck was that Jesus? Someone in one of the Discords had that Jesus. I would love to get a buddy Jesus from Dogma. If you guys don't know the film, please go watch it. It's really good, by Kevin Smith. There's a buddy Jesus, and he's like, you know, I'm like, I want to get one of those. That'd be funny. I need to get one for my desk so I can just have them pop up every once in a while.
Like, when I was in New Age, it didn't feel as personal as it does with Jesus. It just didn't. Nothing did.
You know, if you asked a bunch of Christians how they feel when they find Jesus, that's the exact same thing they'll tell you. That's what I'll tell you. Peace. Unexplainable peace. That's Jesus. He is unconditional. Nothing is more powerful than the presence of Jesus. Nothing. Satan, you lost again, bro.
Satan, you...
Okay, so why did that guy add creepy music to the background of that? Number one, that was weird. Number two, like, great. If you felt great, that's great. But some people feel great with other religions. Like, it's just this like overconfidence, I think, in some of them. It's like, this is the only religion, and it's like, no, it's not. And like, we don't even know if there's a God. Like, you're just gambling. We're all just gambling. This is why I chose witchcraft, by the way, because witchcraft and the way I practice, it's about the here and now. And I give back to the earth, hoping that, you know, it gives back to me, like in the universe, you know. It's about my current life. And that's why I chose this faith, because I'm in the moment and I'm not thinking about something magical in the sky and I might go to heaven or hell, which I don't believe in anyway. So yeah, one of my old friends had a Jesus sex toy. Okay, freak people out. That would be funny. That would be funny. It would actually.
You lost again, bro. Satan, you lost again, bro. Please be so serious right now. First of all, First of all, if it took this woman literally 1 minute of opening herself up to Christ to realize that everything that she'd been doing up until that point in witchcraft meant nothing to her, then she is best off out of witchcraft, because that is a very flimsy foundation. That is a shaky spiritual.
And that's the thing. If this woman's a real one, and this is where I will say, witchcraft and following this as your belief structure, it's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot more work than just going to church on Sunday. And also, a lot of churches will be like, give yourself to the Lord and he will take care of you and you don't need to worry about anything, right? So, whereas in witchcraft, we're like, we're going to take control of our destiny, our energy, and we're going to put out and take in, and like, we're doing the work for our existence, right? So I think too, there are some people that and she's covered some, and I've seen some too, where they tried out witchcraft for a minute and didn't realize that there's a lot of work involved. And then they went back to Christianity because there's less work involved. They just go to church every Sunday. I love the reel I keep seeing that says you've lost him again, maybe get stronger nails. That's funny. Yeah. A Pope soap on a rope. Oh yeah, that's good. Get stronger nails is diabolical. Yeah.
Poor at best, isn't it? She was never going to stick around in witchcraft that long, so I fully support her religion hopping over to Christianity, where I'm sure she feels far more at home. You know, that's clearly the place for her, because imagine your entire spiritual perspective crumbling under the weight of 1 minute of spiritual experience with something that you would usually consider to be maybe averse to your spiritual experience or not part of it, but you decide, oh, I'm going to open myself up for 1 minute of experimentation, and suddenly your entire spiritual perspective that you've put together completely crumbles. I mean, yeah, like, I think that's a sign. I think that's a sign that she probably was in the wrong place spiritually, and good for her for realizing that. I don't know what it's got to do with me or any other witch, but I'm really pleased for her that she has discovered that she is a follower of Christ. Not that you can't be if you are a witch. Please bear that in mind. There are Christian witches, okay? Second of all, can I just say, I love the way she intentionally piled all of her witchcraft books into 2 big piles.
Yeah, I noticed the books. I was like, oh yeah, okay. You know, the other thing I wanted to point out too is Kelly's like, she's really kind. I wouldn't normally be this kind to people like this, but she's really kind. You know, she's like, I'm so glad. I'm so glad for her that she found a religion that works for her, and this was the right thing for her, and things like that. That's why I'm like, I do like watching Kellyanne, because she makes you think like, okay, you know, we don't have to be bitter and angry at all these people. Like, we can see the good in moments like this, which it gets lost because there's so much bad in the world. I know. And that's why I do like watching a lot of her stuff with stuff like this. And she does cover difficult topics too. Don't get me wrong. She does cover political stuff too. So
I'm not really sure what that was about. Is it some kind of weird flex, maybe?
I'm very important.
I can't hear again. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm going to flip to the other headphones over here, because these ones are annoying the crap out of me. It's just whenever I pause, they like are disconnecting or something. Let me try these ones. Let's see here. Makes me wonder if any of it was ever genuine, or if you're just cosplaying religions for views. That's the thing. I think the majority of the time, it's not genuine. I mean, I'll say it as it is. I don't think it's genuine. I think a lot of them are, what do you call it? Like, people that are doing it to try to benefit the church, or they're just rage baiting to get clicks and views, because this stuff does get clicks and views too. So imagine holding yourself accountable for your decisions. Yeah, it's crazy.
Piled all of her witchcraft books into 2 big piles. I'm not really sure what that was about. Is it some kind of weird flex, maybe?
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
To be honest with you, the clip isn't very long, so I'm not.
I really like Anchorman, by the way. I love fucking, what's the character? Brent or whatever? And he ends up, like, killing someone. Oh, thank you for the memberships. Oh, who gave the membership? Oh, Scarborough. Thank you, Douglas, for giving out 5 memberships. I appreciate it. So hopefully some people in here got a membership. Oh, Cass got one. Cass was in here. Yeah, Cass is still here. All right, cool. Awesome.
Not really sure if this witch fully
Oh, Wendy
denounced
got
like
one.
everything that they believed before. I don't know if they're saying, you know, I read all these books and Jesus is still the only thing that did it for me. But if that is the case, if that is the statement that is being made through piling up the books, then, you know, it's possible to read a lot of things without understanding them. That is possible. And also, books don't maketh the witch. I mean, I have about 100 books in the other room that I haven't read yet. I could pile.
Oh, thank you, Ken, for the gift of subs too. There's a bunch of them going through. Oh, thank you. We got 10 from Ken and we got 5 from Douglas. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, hopefully a bunch of you got it. I think it's James got one too, and he's in the chat. There's a theory going around that these conversions have some financial incentive. I think that she did cover this into a video, that there's a rumor that there's churches just paying random people to make these videos because then it pushes God or some crap. I mean, I've heard this like conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's still awake. Sorry, I saw Cass say I'm still awake. I don't know if it's like real or valid, but we'll have to see. Yeah, Luna says you guys are amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to stop in and say hi. Oh, hey, Stevie. I'm probably going to call it an early night, but I'll be on Team Rewatch tomorrow. Okay, yeah, Stevie, get some rest. I appreciate you. Love you. All right, are we caught up? Okay. I have to go pee like really quick. I'll play this and then if anything, I'll just rewind it. All right.
Pile them all up as well and claim myself to be some sort of like 9 layers in kind of witch that suddenly was, you know, had my whole paradigm shattered by 1 minute with Jesus. It does not mean, you know, that she's actually looked at the books, delved into the books, digested what the books contain, but I don't know. I think we should get to the bit that is really important about this video though, and it has nothing to do with what the witch was saying about their path. It is to do with the guy, right? The guy is who I truly take issue with, because the guy is saying that turning your life to Christ gives you unexplainable peace. Whenever Christians talk like this, guys, I have to be honest, I think they imagine that they are doing top tier PR for their God, but all it leaves me with is a weird culty feeling. It freaks me out, to be honest with you. I do not like unexplainable peace. I don't want unexplainable peace, and I don't want to be around people who need me to pretend that I am under the influence of unexplainable peace all the time. I want a healthy range of human emotions, you know, including perhaps unexplainable peace at times when unexplainable peace makes sense, perhaps, or when it washes over me in conjunction with other things that I'm going through. I don't want to go towards any kind of religious paradigm that promises me unexplainable peace and an end to all of my questions or my disquiet or my existential spiraling, because that just sounds culty. It sounds like I would be agreeing to be brainwashed. Feeling a sense of unexplainable peace to any massive
yeah, so what I was going to say too is I think like a lot of times too, when it comes to witchcraft or other, you know, alternative belief structures that aren't necessarily Abrahamic, I think that a lot of us that are in it are a bit of control freaks. I will say that. But like we really want control over what's happening to our body, or like we want to know that we can help fix something, or, you know, help make something happen, help manifest something, like whatever it might be. I feel like that's also part of it, that I would never be able to give myself over to a God and just hope for the best. Like that's just not, that doesn't work. So it's always Beardo's fault. Yeah, it is always Beardo's fault. Yes. I'm here because of Beardo. Oh yeah. So money pushes God then. I mean, if you go look back at all the churches and stuff, how much money they had. This was actually a problem in ancient Egypt too. It's very interesting because the churches, or what, the temples, they would kind of run the entire country and they'd take care of the people, and they had like all the power. They had tons of wealth and everything. The pharaoh actually didn't really have anything compared to the temples. And that's why that one pharaoh ended up doing that one God thing for his generation, because he didn't like how much power and money that the temples had. And as soon as he was dead, everyone moved right back to the way it was. But the temples, they took care of the people, though. I think this is the difference, though. You went there for like food and rations and things like that. You have like a broken foot, you go there. They had really good medical advancements back then. You know, you're hungry, right? You go get some grain from the temples. Like, I think that's why too the people preferred it that way, because they can just go to the temples to get help. Whereas when that pharaoh tried to take over, it was like he was trying to take all the wealth and the power, and he's not enough of a, like, one person can't take care of the people. The temples are all over, they were all over Egypt with multiple priests and priestesses, and that's how they took care of the people. So I could see why the people would be frustrated with him and immediately go back home after he made them move to another city. So Jesus take the wheel and then it crashes. Yeah, this is what I think is the problem with Christianity for people like me, I guess. Yeah. Originally, I watched a few debunking things and caught last week's live. Love the vibe. Regularly watch Kellyanne. Yeah, Kellyanne's really good. Yeah. They gave themselves to Jesus and now he never calls. Yeah, they're in a situationship with Jesus. Surrender my autonomy doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, that's what I think a lot of it is. And that's probably why there's a lot of female witches, because women are always fighting for our autonomy. So it does attract a lot of women. Yeah. Lucifer's agenda, sellouts, God gave us everything we need, Amish ways, Pharaoh means today president. Huh? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, Akhenaten. Yes. Yeah, King Tut's father. Yeah, Akhenaten is the one who did this like crazy shakeup. There was another pharaoh, though, who started charging tariffs to everywhere that was trading with Egypt. And he messed up the entire economy and everything. And it took 3 generations for Egypt to recover from that pharaoh. Now, Akhenaten, it only took his death. Everyone moved back. Everything was fine. That pharaoh, though, that messed up all the trade agreements, 3 generations to fix that. So, yeah. Jesus holy ghosted them. Oh, that's a good one, James. I like that one.
Agree. When the planet is looking like it is and the things that are going on are happening, that's offensive to me in general. But it's very offensive to me when it's what Christians describe feeling, because I feel like they're supposed to be concerned with the plight of others. I don't know. Correct me if I'm fucking wrong. Do you know what gives this guy a lot of...
Yeah, this is my issue with these evangelical ones and ones that are always trying to preach and push is that, and ones that are like, you know, we hate the queer people. They should die. There's some out there like they should die. It's like, would Jesus want that? Jesus wouldn't say that. Like, that's the only thing I don't get. Like, they throw around Christianity like it's some kind of like moral standing or something, but the stuff they're saying, Jesus would never be okay with. And that's the only thing, like, I'm just like, I don't know. There's like this disconnect here. Love the show Lucifer. Yeah, that show is really good, actually. Yeah. That's how I see it, you know. When I think about this, it's a story, but when I think about the story of Lucifer, I see him like that. Like, I don't think he would have been like an evil, like devil looking creature. He was an angel to begin with, you know, and him being sad about having to punish people his entire existence, like that, him having to rule hell is his punishment. It's punishment. He doesn't enjoy it. Like that's the whole point, right? That's God punishing him for what he did. So the show Lucifer, the premise was really good because I kind of agree that makes more sense with the story of everything, you know? I'd 100% go to hell with that. Yeah, he's hot. Yeah, it helps that he's hot. Yeah.
Peace, a lot of unexplainable peace, right? Peace that he cannot explain. His clean water, his soft bed, his aircon unit, maybe also the fact that the ceiling above him is intact and it's not being caved in by bombs that are killing his family in front of his fucking eyeballs. You know, I think all of those kinds of things. There we go. His unexplainable peace has been explained by me. It really wasn't that much of a mystery. I think it's just so deeply, deeply oozing privilege to talk about, like, if you let Christ into your heart, you'll have unexplainable peace. I think some other variables are at play there, honey, to be honest with you.
I'm sitting out here with my little friend.
Stand up.
Okay, this is Alex.
To be honest with you.
I'm sitting.
Okay, so this is Alex. Okay. The ones who apparently haven't read Genesis, and GDs? I don't know what GDs is. Huh? Promise, God's promise to Noah after the flood, to not interfere with man's religious choices. Those who say otherwise are breaking the commandments technically. Yeah, breaking the commandments of God. And also, didn't Jesus say like that without the first sin, whoever has the first sin can throw the first stone kind of thing? You know, like Jesus would never think it's okay to kill someone for their sexual orientation. He would never want that, you know? Yeah. Lucifer is a Draco reptilian. I mean, he could be a dragon boy, sure. Why not? But no, I mean, technically in the books, you know, he's an angel. So, I tell Christians who annoy me that, yeah, no, I do that sometimes too with ones that I have run into like online and stuff. And I'm like, do you think Jesus would be okay with you threatening someone's life right now in his name? Like, but that's my issue with Christianity, and why I never followed it too, is there's so much bloodshed in the name of Jesus, or bloodshed in the name of God. And to attach yourself to that much bloodshed, I just think it's bad energy. It's bad juju, you know? Unexplained peace. Tell that to my religious trauma. Yep. True. Alex reads hearsay. Yeah. Best to play them at their own game. Yeah. No, if you go watch Monty Mater, if you guys find this religious stuff fascinating, by the way, go watch Monty Mater. She's on Instagram and TikTok. She grew up in a cult, and she knows the Bible like in and out. And she just like her comebacks and everything, like she brings out the Bible and she reads the verses and then explains them. And it's like, this goes against what you just said. The Bible says not to do what you just said. And she does a really good job dressing down or whatever people that are doing this crap. Lucifer's in a dimensional shapeshifter. He's imaginary. He's not real. The Bible is just stories to live your life by. Stop taking them literally. So much death. Yeah, there's so much death in his name. Like that's thing, a lot of death and heartache and also trauma. I do believe that kind of energy does kind of stick around, and to follow a God that has all that energy attached to it, that's bad juju. Lucifer sometimes referred to as God's perfect mistake. Yeah. Monty's on YouTube as well. Oh yeah, Monty's on YouTube. She's doing like whatchamacallit, like I saw that she was doing some ghost story stuff where she was talking about ghost stuff. So yeah. Okay. I know that you're a troll, but I'm getting rid of you. Bye. There we go.
Out here with my little friend.
Stand up. I'm telling you to fucking stand up, you sack of fucking cum. Stand the fuck up.
Oh, that's right, babes. Buckle up, because the biggest gobshite of 2026 so far is clucking for some of our attention, apparently. So let's get into this. Let's see what she has to say for herself. She's back. Alex is back in the room. That was quick.
If you're still in New Age, let me just have a very, very candid conversation with you. As someone who came out of New Age and has now turned my life over to Christ, yes, I'm going to evangelize. Yes, I'm going to share some of the gospel with you, but it is with good purpose.
Oh, for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes, Alex, you turned your life over to Christ for the spiritual equivalent of 2 minutes. But of course, it's time for you to get your kicks from directly shitting on your former clientele and the audience that used to pay your rent. No class at all, no decorum, no compassion, no consideration whatsoever. They trample over the spiritual practitioners who used to follow them and who they just recently said that they have respect for and they deeply care about. By the way, if you have no idea who this woman is and you're wondering what I'm talking about, you can check out this video that I made about it recently. Basically, this person, formerly known as Alex Reads Tarot, was a big deal in certain sections of the tarot community. Not my section, I must add. She did not pass my smell test for the high quality of content that I insist upon when it comes to tarot, but she meant a lot to a lot of people, including Hayley from Paramore, apparently.
Alex Reads Tarot reads the shit out of me.
And she just brought out this massive conversion video where she masqueraded as somebody who is harmlessly doing a little bit of religion hopping, decided to go over to Christ, but it's all very innocent. There's going to be no judgment, like you do you, and it's totally fine if you want to read tarot or be witches or whatever. whatever, but I just have to go over to the light of Christ, and made it all seem like it was very friendly and very interfaith coded.
I also want to be clear that this decision is about my own journey and my own convictions. It isn't my place to tell anyone else what they should believe or what choices that they should make. Yes, I'm going to
Yeah, so like that was part of it. So that was the first video. So when we covered the first stream on this, so this is stream number 3. People were freaking out about that when she was really talking about keeping it to herself, right? And that's what started a lot of the fighting in the Witchtok thing too. But her first video was good, but she's been spiraling since then. So yeah, she made a new account. She got rid of the Tarot Reads one, Reads Tarot one, and then she's now doing this. Yeah.
Evangelize. Yes, I'm going to share some of the gospel with you, but it is with good purpose.
And now, unfortunately, she's decided.
Yeah, Taryn, yeah, I don't believe in organized religion, and I also don't judge anyone that believes anything different or what they believe. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Like, the Bible says not to judge people for that, and I think that's the way that we're supposed to just do this. Like, we shouldn't judge people for their beliefs. Concentrate on your own life, concentrate on your own beliefs, concentrate on your journey to heaven. You don't need to be going at people your whole life. That's not going to give you brownie points in the end, you know? I don't like her eyes. Her eyes are cold. Yeah, well, I don't think she's wearing any makeup. That's probably why. All religion is our way of dealing with life and giving it meaning. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. But as soon as it makes someone less by making you more because you support the right team, then it's not fit. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, humans have a tendency of doing this, like, versus, like, we tend to do this a lot. And I think that is like probably, I mean, that is the downfall of politics right now, is it's very black and white, which it shouldn't. Not, we need some more gray area. And it happens with religion too. And I think if we tried to like check ourselves once in a while and look for that gray area and be like, am I going too black and white with this? Like, I think it's always good to check ourselves. And that's shadow work, by the way. That's part of shadow work, is like, check on yourself every once in a while and be like, am I falling into, you know, the human condition foibles? I don't know what the word I want to say, but yeah. I own that. My conservative religious trauma informs my experience. Oh, no, yeah. No, I agree with you, Jade. No. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Mesh, not mean. Yeah. My neighbors are outside, so sorry if you hear any noise too. The neighbor upstairs, it's like birthday week or something, and then his like girlfriend, it's the younger kid, his girlfriend came to visit, so it's a little bit noisier lately, but we'll get through it.
To go immediately into the same grift that a lot of former witch kind of Christian reformed girlies do, where she craps on all of her former audience members from a not so great height.
Surprise, surprise.
All right, let me plug my nose and get back into this bog of cringe. Oh, my life.
I didn't really realise until I came out of the craft and to walking with Christ how self-obsessed the craft made me. I mean, you think about it. Glamour magic, manifestation, power rituals, all these things are designed.
Like, okay, if she wasn't really practicing witchcraft, okay, so here's my other thing. She was reading tarot. So if she wasn't actually practicing witchcraft, then she doesn't really know what she's talking about here. Because I don't know any witches who do glamour magic. That's a Hollywood thing. That's The Craft, the movie The Craft. Manifestation is the exact same thing as prayer, by the way. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The self-obsession, I could see that, but I think it's like, because we take control of our own path and we're the makers of our own destiny, it can seem like we're being self-obsessed when we're doing the work for ourselves, right? But that's the whole thing, is we're putting in the work. We're not expecting God to do it for us, you know? Keywords, how obsessed it made her with herself. Yeah. That's the thing. I'm just like, I don't think that she's really practicing magic though, because like, who practices glamour magic other than a 12-year-old kid who doesn't know, you know? I used to be Christian, even went on a mission trip to Peru thinking I'd be helping people build a church or something where homeless people could get food and shelter. God. It just ended up being evangelical work. Yeah, trying to convert people, which turned me off. And before I even got back, I was already deconstructing. Yeah, like, and if you go and watch the channel Genetically Modified Skeptic and Antibot, what was it? Is it... which one? I think they both were on missions. Their parents, because they were in like religious cult kind of situation, and they were young, and they both ended up in like other countries to like evangelize people. So, thank you, Donuts, for 40 joules. Thank you, Ken. I want a 90s rave remix of Tammy Faye's biggest hits. That could be interesting. Yeah. Glamour magic is like not a thing. Like you'd have a better job at getting some like hair dye and makeup. That like glamour magic just isn't really a thing. The only thing it would do really is probably raise your own confidence so that you feel prettier inside, but it's not doing anything to you. But if you also, I mean, if you fix your confidence, any self-confidence issues you have, it tends to make you more attractive because you're confident, right? And that does attract people. But that's not magic. That's just psychology. So Antibot was a mission kid. Yeah, I was pretty sure it was her, but I could have sworn that he had some pictures too, but maybe it was pictures that she was showing. My understanding of glamour magic was that it had to do with how you were projecting your energy. Yeah, again, it's just psychology though, right? Like, it's just like anyone that I know that tried it, it's really not actual like spellcraft. You know, it's not, it's more boosting your confidence. Like, listen, if it boosts your confidence, fine, just do it, you know? But I think for me, like, makeup boosts my confidence more than a spell does. So, not like physically changing your appearance. Well, I mean, you could say that about a lot of, there are other spells too, that it's like, oh, well, you're not going to physically see this or whatever. Like, that's the whole thing. Spell work it's just psychology. It really is psychology. In my opinion, it is about putting stuff out there. It's like manifestation. You know, you put it out there, you're more likely to look for it, the thing that you want. So before, you might not look for it, right? Because you put the word out there that you're looking for this, right? And it'll become more visible to you because you've tricked your brain into saying it. However, that being said, I do believe that, because we're all like electricity and stuff, and you know, you can like feel people when they're near you. Like, you just feel that someone's near you in a room, or someone walked into a room, you know, there's a person in there now. I think there's something to that, and I do believe in energy, and I do feel like spell work is mainly psychological, like prayer and stuff. But I think there's an aspect of like putting your energy out there and it coming back to you threefold, because I believe it enough that I never curse anybody. I would never do hexes or curses or any bad magic, because the threefold rule, right? So like, I do believe there's something. I can't really explain it, but the way I see it is kind of like, okay, I left my jacket at this place. My jacket's going to now collect a bunch of money. People are going to put it in my jacket for whatever reason. This is a stupid metaphor. Just go with me. Because I did a spell for money. So now my jacket, which is my energy, my jacket's gone out, picked up a bunch of dollar bills from people, and then my jacket gets returned to me. And now I have money, right? That's how I see a spell. If that makes any sense. But it's your energy. If that makes any sense. Her husband, Drew, worked in a homeless place run by an evangelical group and had to lie that he was still Christian when he had deconstructed. Okay, yeah, there you go. They're both really good people to follow. I watch a lot of their stuff too. Very fascinating. I find Drew, it does a lot of really good, like, research and stuff, especially like explaining evangelicalism and how it relates into American history and politics and this and that. And I do really like watching his stuff. And Antibot, she covers a lot of like, I don't know, like, I guess like kind of like stuff like this too. They're good. They're good. As someone who's never been good at makeup, makeup is glamour magic to me. It really is. Like, it really is, right? Those of you who have seen me without makeup, people are like, you look like you're a kid. I'm like, I know. I look stupid. I have like, my eyelashes are like blonde and stuff, and I just feel like I have beady eyes. Like, well, I mean, Alex right now, if you look at her, she's got like a similar no color eyelashes. That's why her eyes look weird. And her eyes are like green, which green always has the people with green eyes sometimes look like they're soulless from certain angles, but it's just the green eyes. She's fine. I like how you look at it. Yeah, like I know it's hard to explain, but yeah. Anyway, your makeup always looks so pretty. Oh, thank you so much. I just did eyelashes today because I'm like, I don't want to do, I got caught up in a bunch of stuff and I got distracted. So I was like, oh, I don't want to rush through this. So I'm going to just do eyelashes.
And we're designed to essentially encroach upon our own and other people's free will. It's a power trip. It's tools for control. It's the ability.
Okay. I think my mic's doing something weird. No, okay, we're good. We're good. I have green eyes, can confirm soulless. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Ken. I stopped wearing makeup recently and my skin feels amazing. Oh no, that's saying like, I used to be goth. I used to wear a lot of makeup, right? And then I just kind of stopped wearing makeup. I was busy with life, blah, 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 blah. And my skin started like feeling better. You know, like the makeup was killing my skin. It definitely was. I did also start using some like name brand. Like I use La Roche-Posay. That's my favorite line. So when I started using that, like I have glass skin. I just mat it down a lot for the lights because otherwise I feel like look like I'm sweating to death, where it's just like my skin's just shiny. It's like shiny and plump and stuff. I'm like, it feels so much better without all the makeup. I cast a spell to get a car, so I went looking and I found one and I had enough money for it, so it works. Yeah. Exactly. I will admit, the first time I saw a picture of you with blonde hair, it sent me back on my heels a bit. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, my natural hair color is, it's the same as Taylor Swift's hair color. She calls it dirty sink water blonde. And yeah, that's kind of it. So I've never liked it. In the winter, it goes like mousy, silvery mousy kind of. Like, I hate the winter look to it. Oh, right. I was going to comment on what she just said. Hold on.
It's the power trip. It's tools for control. It's
okay. Yeah. So Luna, you were saying that she didn't really practice witchcraft. This is making me wonder, like, she did tarot and did she just not understand witchcraft? Because how many witches really out there are controlling people? Like, I feel like she's like looking at witches who do some black magic, which there are a bunch on TikTok. Don't get me wrong. But the majority of like most witches don't do like black magic stuff. So I'm just kind of curious, like, is she just getting this off watching TikToks, or did she attend some church who's telling her this? Because it seems like she wasn't practicing magic, because she seems to be confused on some aspects of it here.
the ability that we are told that we have to manifest, you know, to do love spells, to do glamour magic, to literally
Manifestation is the same as prayer. Yeah, it sounds like she watched The Craft. No, it honestly sounds like she watched The Craft. It really, really does. I feel like she didn't really pay attention to the witchcraft or something going on TikTok all these years. Like, this feels like somebody who watched The Craft. Yeah.
manifest your physical appearance changing.
Okay, so here we have the classic diluting down.
Yeah, green eyes are the rarest eye color. Yeah, they are rare, more rare than amber and gray. Yep. Yeah, they are the very, very rare eye color. Yeah. I think she was in it for money only. I never liked her, followed her because of how gimmicky she was. Yeah, like, I never heard of her. So if she showed up while I was scrolling, it obviously didn't attract me. I didn't click on it. So I do think that she was in it for money. And I am curious and I'm wondering, like, is she switching to the Christian stuff for money? Because it's a hot thing right now, you know? I don't know. I was wondering the same thing if this is all about money too.
of witchcraft into a practice that only serves the self. Now, serving the self is not actually morally questionable for witches, but it has to be said that witchcraft is so much more than serving the self. The craft is far more complex and varied than even just spellcasting, let alone just focusing on one's personal goals and, you know, pursuing one's personal desires. Like, whenever
Now that being said, too, when we're doing witchcraft, like when we do a spell or when we do a ceremony, because there's just ceremonies like celebrations, they're not to do with spells, but whatever we do, we always give back to the universe, right? Like we're leaving a token, I'm forgetting the word right now because of fibrofog. I forgot the word, but it's like I'll feed the animals. I will leave dishes of like cream and honey out when I'm doing spells and stuff. I'll plant a tree or pay for trees to be planted. Like, it's not just about take. Like, for it to all work, we also got to give back to the universe too. We can't just take, we got to give back as well. You know what I mean? So I don't think that it's even selfish in any way at all, to be honest. Other than if someone was practicing the craft like misinformed and not realizing that you can't just take and ask for everything. Like, you do have to give back as well, because it is about an energy exchange, and that's how I see it. I mean, most witches see it. Like you're exchanging something for something else. You got to give back. You don't get things for free, you know. She never made traction with witchy stuff, only tarot. Her Etsy alone had about 1 million sales. Oh yeah, she's doing it for money because tarot isn't making money anymore. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because like the American company has control over TikTok now, and they're really pushing Christianity. So offering, that's the word I'm trying to think of. Glitter, an offering. Yes. I am just curious if she's flipping because it's where the money is, because it's where the algorithm is right now. And that's what I think maybe. Yeah. I used to wear a lot of makeup, but I have a beard now and doesn't really go. I just do my nails now. Yeah, having a beard is kind of annoying to deal with makeup. Yeah. Our intent matters because we get that back threefold and not in a good way. Yeah, that's why I don't do any dark magics, dark, or, you know, and I try really hard not to get caught up and like wish ill on anyone, because even just like wishing ill on someone or being like, oh, I hope this happens to them, that can act as a spell. Like, you don't need to have a ceremony for a spell to work. It just can be strong emotion and will and energy that can kind of make that work too. It'll come back on you though. But yeah, I'd say the tarot market is pretty saturated at this point. It is very saturated. It's saturated, but like the American companies that control our algorithms are being told to change things, you know. So if the algorithm isn't going to favor this stuff, it's kind of hard to get yourself out there, you know. Exactly. When I moved into this house, there were no flowers. There were no flowers. Now butterflies and dragons abound. Oh, because you planted flowers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I usually do like bat boxes and stuff. I'll go like feed, you know, the ducks and the squirrels and all them. Yeah, I've always like rescued cats. Like if there's ever like an animal that's asking for help, I've always helped it. So yeah. So I'm leaning more masculine at the moment, although I dye my beard purple to match my hair. Oh, that's cool. That's neat. I like
somebody
that.
describes witchcraft like this, they are showing their whole entire arse to real witches, because real witches know that there is so much more to the craft than that. You know, that is a totally incomplete picture of what we do in our practices. So as soon as somebody starts talking like this for witches themselves, we are giving it absolutely the side eye. We are raising the eyebrow. We know that something is not groovy in the woodshed. But of course, it satisfies the Christian confirmation bias. They want to see it as a self-serving, self-aggrandizing, vapid, shallow, selfish practice. And so they love hearing from people like Alex, who are going to prop up those kinds of attitudes. It's just a very lazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can't remember what I was going to say. Taryn, you're saying, I just learned that I think Slash is hot. Slash has always been hot.
depiction of witchcraft. You know, it's a trope that we're selfish and we're self-serving, and it serves as a very convenient caricature for evangelical Christians because, like I said, confirmation bias, they want to think of us that way. And when somebody comes out from having a huge TikTok audience and talking about tarot all the time, and they suddenly start saying this kind of thing about witchcraft, it is very satisfying to a certain type of Christian. They salivate at the sound of Alex describing us in those terms. It's fake news. It's fake news. That is not all we do in witchcraft. For a lot of witches, that isn't even the key focus. There's so many more layers to it. There's so many more rooms in the mansion of the craft. But, you know, they always need somebody new to spoon feed them the lies that give them a sense of superiority over us. And I think Alex is doing a very good job right now of licking church boot right in front of our faces.
And at my command, you lick the dog shit from my boot heel.
There are many Christian ex-witches of this ilk who tell on themselves by only mentioning things like power grabbing.
That was, what's his name? Quentin Tarantino. And see, I wouldn't have added that scene because he wrote that in there because he has a foot fetish and he wanted to lick Salma Hayek's feet. That's all I think about with that movie now.
Magical spells and self-aggrandizement and like shallow glamour workings to improve physical appearance. Whenever these kinds of things are mentioned, we know that's all the surface level shit. That is just absurd. That is just tropes. It's surface level crap. And so one way that we might choose to read it when somebody speaks like this is that when they were in witchcraft, that is all that they were doing. That is where they stopped and started. That was all they were interested in. And that has nothing to do with the rest of us. But I think I would.
Yeah, and I'd even add to that and say, like, if there's people that actually did witchcraft and then started working in the craft, and if that's all they know, and I'm gonna say also, if they truly did it, they probably were like, I'm a witch and I'm gonna cast the spell, and then they cast the spell and nothing happened immediately, and they were like, oh, magic isn't real. And it's like, it's as real as prayer, if that makes sense, you know? But I feel like some of them expected it to be this like whatever instant thing and that you'd have supernatural powers, and that's not how it works. So I think that that's part of it too. Yeah. As we get older, I guess things change. My hubs is complete opposite. He looks like Steve Austin. Yeah, he does look like Steve Austin. Yeah. From Dusk Till Dawn, Satanico, Pandemonium, fuck, whatever, you know what I mean. TV series are better. No, James, no. He wears different hats and stuff. Now I need to find him a wiggly hat. Oh, you mean Slash with the hats? Yeah. He has like those weird top hats, right? My neighbors are going at it now. There's a lot of noise. I'm sorry, guys.
Go one step further with Alex, and I would go so far as to say that she never was a practicing witch. And this is all just a script that she is reading. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong, but I am pretty sure that Alex never, ever even alluded to the fact that she was a witch. I don't think that I ever saw an altar space, not that you need an altar space to be a witch, but, you know, she never danced into that kind of territory. I don't think she ever spoke about a witchcraft practice during her reign of online tarot queendom. Let me know down in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure other people have discussed this too. You know, that it's just like classic that she's kind of...
Okay, so yeah, so Kelly's clocking the same thing I am. What she's saying and the way she's talking doesn't make sense for someone who actually, well, what's happening right now upstairs is that's their son. It's not the neighbors, it's their son. The whole thing. So, but the thing is too, it is Friday night and they might be having a party. There might be a fire in the back and it might be neighbors because other neighbors come over. There's a lot of us. Other neighbors will come over and there could be like up to 8 people, but it's like 9:30 right now. So if all the kids are here, it could be like up to 8 to 10 people. So it gets a little bit, the summertime is busy. It's busy in Canada. Yeah. Prayers don't always work either. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I was saying, like, spells don't always work, right? So speaking of Slash's last album, Orgy of the Damned, is freaking awesome. Oh, okay, interesting. Hi everyone. I've never have been a witch. Yeah, no worries, Crystal. Yeah, he's a really good guitarist. Yeah.
Coming out talking about witchcraft now when she never actually spoke about witchcraft when she was a fucking tarot reader, which might have been the time to do it. That might have been the time to bless us with your pearls of occultic wisdom, Alex, was back when you actually were a tarot reader, but none of that was happening. You know, you were just a tarot reader, and a tarot reader is not necessarily a witch. These two things are not interchangeable. The thing is, Alex needs to roll out the W word now. Do you know what I mean? She needs to put witchcraft in her speeches in order to appease her new masters, because talking about tarot is never going to be enough. You know, the W word has got to come into play. So she's wheeling out some of the most rinsed, tired old tropes that Christian converts go for, and it
Yeah, so like that's my other question too. So she said she was leaving, and then Witchtok just like blew up with some people saying, well, you know, she hasn't denounced the craft, and other people like she's going to because now she's a Christian, which does happen with evangelical, obviously. But if she never was officially a witch, if she never did any witchcraft content, then why was this even a conversation to begin with? You know? Yeah, you don't have to be a witch to read tarot. I know, like I said at the beginning, Teresa Caputo, she's a medium and she's heavily Catholic. Sylvia Brown, she was every religion. And she also made up her own religion too. She had her own church. Was it John Edwards? Sorry. Christian, I believe he's a Christian. Like there's a bunch of psychics that are Christians, you know, there's a bunch of tarot readers that are Christians. You don't have to be a witch to read tarot. And if she never made any witch content, then like, why was this even an argument on TikTok? You know what I mean? And I think most witches would be clocking the things she's saying don't make sense. Like it'd be someone who watched The Craft and maybe tried witchcraft for like 2 days and was like, oh, I wasn't able to win the lottery or change my entire face like plastic surgery, so witchcraft must be not real. And it's like, okay, it doesn't work like that. Thank you, Amoon, for the 2 jewels as well. I thought of something else. Do we know if she recently got into a new relationship? Oh my God. Okay. So that was like one of the TikTokers did accuse her of this. This was Mary Magdalene or whatever, TikToker lady. So this lady also follows an Abrahamic faith. She just does it as a female god and Mary Magdalene kind of thing. And Mary, and it's this whole thing. But she starts like going at people that are following Abrahamic religions and insulting them. It's like, you're still following under an Abrahamic religion though, because you're following still under the story of the Bible. Anyway, no, there's no guy involved. She divined with her tarot that there was a guy involved. There's no guy involved. Alex has actually been single for like the last year and a half. And she got into the Christian stuff about like, I don't know, about that time. I mean, it might have been the breakup that maybe pushed her into it. I don't know. But she, like, Alex came out and said, no, she's been single for like years now. So it's not a guy. Or like if it was because a guy broke her heart, I could maybe see that. You know what I mean? That would make sense. When someone randomly converts like this, if it isn't money or clout she's chasing, maybe she got herself a Christian boyfriend. Yeah. The thing to remember too, she didn't immediately convert. She has been a Christian for almost 2 years now, quietly. She just didn't tell anyone. She decided that she didn't want to do tarot anymore because she felt that it was against her newfound Christianity. She felt that it was like evil or whatever, right? I guess. Well, she didn't say that at the beginning. She just said that it didn't align with her journey in becoming a Christian, right? Now she's saying something different, obviously. But yeah, real witches clocked her from the start. Fake witches are the ones causing issues. Okay, well, that would make sense. Yeah. I don't follow Witchtok that closely. And everyone, Luna here, make sure you go follow Magic by Luna. She does like YouTube videos when she can. I know her life has gotten busy. But Luna's from the TikTok tarot like community. She's part of this community. She outed a bunch of like sort of like debunked stuff that was going on in the community, and then they all turned on her, but she was getting tired of seeing like a lot of the grifting and stuff. So anyway, Luna's a really good resource for anything on the TikTok side of things. Yeah. Mediumship is an aspect of necromancy. Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah. I gotta see a pic now of Slash without the hat. Does he have a full head of hair? That would be my question. He might be bald on top. Oh my God, John Edwards is not aging well. YouTube suggested his live the other day. Oh, does he not look good? I only seen him like he shows up on like talk shows every once in a while, but they probably cover him in a bunch of makeup, right? Yeah, good. Have a good night, Cass. Yeah. Christians have their own form of divination too from the Bible using stones called Umin and Thummim. I mean, to be honest, prayer itself is spell work. It's like that thing. The Bible and all this stuff is like there is a Abrahamic version for everything that we do. And that was by design, by the way, because they were trying to get pagans to become Christian. So they incorporated a lot of the ceremony and the things that pagans were doing to encourage them to, become Christian. And they even invited them to church. And someone wrote me a comment on this too. I thought it was really interesting that all the old churches, like in England and stuff, there is a door called the heretic door, but it was originally called something else. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, it left my brain. But essentially, all the pagans would go through that door because they weren't Christian, but they would go through it because they were attending church. They were pagan and they were still attending church. And they made this an option to try to encourage them to come and hear the word of God and convert them, right? So this happened over many, many years, I think even centuries. But there's a reason that there's so much ceremony in Catholic religion, because it was copying paganism that had a lot of ceremony, right? So, the new guy is just Jesus. Wait, who? Manhunt for Luna. Yeah, yeah, and Luna is very pretty too. Yeah. Yes, he does have hair. Okay. Opening up a book and reading a page for a message is bibliomancy. Oh my God. So I saw this, I shared it as a story. It's probably expired and I should have saved it. There's a guy on Instagram. I don't know if he's doing TikTok too. He's opening the Bible, is what he calls it, because he's making a joke, but he's opening it up and reading your fortune. So he'll open it up and he's like, okay, so this one says that God will, or this one says that there's going to be a rain for 15 days and 15 nights, or whatever the fuck the Noah thing is. I'm getting the numbers wrong, I'm sure. And he's like, so, you better stay indoors because it sounds like that's not a very good storm and you might get caught up in the storm. Like he does shit like that. It's so funny. He's so funny. I should have saved his stuff because it was hilarious. It was actually very well done. He was making fortunes out of verses from the Bible. And I just thought that was fucking fantastic. So, Victoria, you're talking about the John Edwards, a psychic medium. I'm assuming that's what she's talking about.
Rolls off their tongue so naturally because they hear it over and over and over again. This is a script that is repeated by so many Christian ex-witches that by the time somebody comes to saying it for the first time, they've already seen it themselves 100 times. So it just rolls off so naturally. But it's all the same regurgitated tripe. Basically, she's heard the spiel from other Christian ex-witches a million times. So I think it's clear that in Alex's case, there was no personal experience of magic. And I feel quite comfortable and confident saying that. But all she has to do is wash, rinse, and repeat what she's heard from others. Let me know in the comments what you think. But that is my very strong suspicion.
And if that's the case, then she just might be doing this for money. If she's just parroting what she sees other TikTokers doing and the TikTokers are getting a lot of views and stuff, then she's probably just doing this for money, to be honest. Yeah, I know. Taryn loves John Edwards, loves him. That's the only medium that she won't get into with me. We don't talk about him. She's like, it's just easier to just not talk about him. But she she's on board for the issues with the other mediums, but she absolutely loves John. So yeah, so that's who Taryn loves. I just let her be. It's fine. She's not hurting anyone. I don't agree with John, but anyway. Who's that guy that talks really fast and sounds like a Muppet? It's probably John Edward. I think you're thinking about John Edward. Yeah. I love him. That's my boy. Leave Johnny alone. I know. Taryn, you're so silly.
It's not normal. In what world would that be?
Yeah, Luna,
normal?
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, when I'm looking at it now, I'm kind of...
Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing, is doing this to make money. Yeah, I think this is all a money grab. Yeah. There's a witch practitioner teacher who regularly uses psalms for magic spells. It's very interesting. It's very fascinating. Like, the creativity is very interesting. I was watching some of his stuff because I'm like, it was very creative. Like it was a joke. Like it's not real, right? But it's a good joke. Like he did a really good job with it. I'll have to try to dig it. I have to try to find it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was led a merry dance, and other people are still being led a merry dance, which is why I want to talk about it.
Let's talk about who has been leading who on a merry dance, Alex. I'm sorry, I can't let that go, because I would say that that is pretty rich, to be honest with you, coming from somebody who just led your million TikTok followers on a merry dance with your live and let live, nothing but respect, I go in peace conversion video. That ended up being a merry dance, didn't it?
Omni shambles, that's what you are. You're like that coffee machine, from bean to cup, you fuck up.
All of the sentiments that Alex shared in the conversion video that I analysed honestly lasted less time than it takes me to do a shit on average. I mean, nothing in that conversion video stands now that Alex is making these kinds of videos. That entire conversion.
Yeah, like her first video announcing her Christianity was actually very fair, and her going like, I'm not going to push anything on anyone. Everyone's allowed to have their own beliefs. This is just the path for me right now. Da, da, da. Like she was very fair. It was very balanced of a take. And that's why a lot of people were like, why are you freaking out about it? You got to kind of wait to see what happens. Right. Because her first video was very good. It was just kind of neutral, but now she's gone off the deep end. So yeah.
Video, pointless. Nothing in it was the truth. Nothing in it was the case. I mean, specifically relating to how she feels about the followers and the clients that she previously had, and how she views their journeys now, and what her perspective is on them having another faith or another. All of that stuff that she said is now not the case, So I think that's a merry dance. That's the merry dance I'm concerned about. I also think some of Alex's former clientele who were paying for tarot readings from her and guidance from her, I think they might say they were led on a merry dance when she pulled the rug out from under them completely renounced her tarot reading and her belief structure, and is now turning around and telling them all that their beliefs and their practices and etc. are demonic. That if they
Yeah, and this is the other aspect, is that she was like Christian for almost 2 years now or something like that. And like that's the thing. I mean, even the timeline doesn't really match up because she said that she hasn't been dating someone for a year. So I don't think it was a boy. I think whatever. I think it might be about money. Which that's saying she says that she started her Christian journey 2 years ago. We're just assuming she's telling us the truth, right? But people that got tarot readings from her and stuff, they feel like slighted because they're like, well, were you giving me answers from, the universe and stuff, from your intuition? Or were you giving me answers that were peppered in Christianity, when a lot of people in this community, like in these, Witchtok, spiritualist communities, a good chunk of them have religious trauma, and they wouldn't go to a Christian tarot reader, right? Those people. So a lot of them feel hurt and betrayed, which is totally understandable, because she wasn't telling people what she was doing. So like, I understand that too. It's like, yeah, at least like when the other psychics say that they're like, there's a lot of them out there that say they're Catholic and Christian. So it's like, well, the Catholics and Christians could go to them. And this is where Alex fucked up. She should have just said that she is accepting God or whatever, and she's exploring a journey of God, but you can still be a tarot reader while being Christian. Like, but I think she wanted to jump on the evangelical bandwagon because of the clicks and views. Yeah. Her readings were AI. Shit, really, Luna? Ooh. Well, that's even worse. Okay, if her readings were AI, then she's just in this for the money. This is all money. Has to be only about money. I don't even think she's Christian. If she's just parroting and copying what other Christian TikTokers are doing for their TikToks, like easy money. You just open up the Bible, pick a verse, and talk about it for 5 minutes, and then cha-ching. So that's crazy. Yeah.
They don't turn to Christianity, then they are in league with Satan or whatever. Like, I think that feels for a lot of people like being taken on a merry dance. So I wouldn't have chosen merry dance because I think there's no leg to stand on there. I think that's the height of hypocrisy. She also ventures to say that things like glamour magic aren't normal. I mean, what is normal? I don't know. I feel like it's giving school bully to me. It's giving kind of like, now I sit with the jocks and the cheerleaders in the canteen, I can kind of like throw things at you. And
her private ones and emails. That's interesting. Because you would think those would probably be the more expensive ones, right? To do, like, if you're going to get a private reading with someone, you're going to charge them more because you can't like monetize it. So you're going to charge them more to make up for like your time and everything and it being private. You would think that those would be the ones that you would spend some time actually like doing well. Unless you're just in it to make money. Then yeah. Which is the reality here. Yeah.
call you weirdos. I don't know.
Halloween is over. Didn't you get the message? Emo!
Is it normal to be so high on the aroma of your newly Christian farts that you forego any in-depth study of the Bible in order to come full frontally out straight away and position yourself as a preacher like 5 minutes after you just left your previous belief structure? Is that normal? I mean, talking about what's normal, is that a good way to go about things? Is that sensible? Is that reasonable? Is that what most people would do in your situation? You know, exploring a new faith, getting the hang of it, getting to grips with a massive amount of text, understanding the doctrine, spending time in church. I feel like not that much of that has gone on in order for you to arrive at the idea that you're supposed to be in charge here. Is it normal to start shitting on the beliefs of everybody from your previous life, all of your previous connections, all of your clientele, after reassuring them quite confidently just a little while ago that you wouldn't do that? Is that normal? Is that normal? Because it is horrendous behavior, I think. Some may even go so far as to call you a Judas. I'm just saying.
Saucy, pass out.
The New Age and the occult will teach you that you have power that you actually shouldn't have access to, and power that you have access to, and you don't truly know who's giving you that power. And it's not God. Some of you will sit there and say, it is God, it is God. No, it's not. You're signing contracts with demons and you're signing contracts with the Dark Kingdom.
Oh yeah, no, like this is off the deep end. Yeah, Jade, enjoy your night dealing with the teenagers. I'll try to find the videos and send them to me. Yeah, it is hearsay. Well, yeah, but yeah, send them to me and let me know. So when someone reaches this point of like, you know, saying it's God or it's the demons and the devil and all that, like this is like pure evangelical nonsense. Yeah, this is crazy. And I mean, like, if you're now Christian and you think that all this stuff is that bad, if you're that evangelical, then you better take out the nose ring and you better get your tattoo removed, because those don't fly with God in your way that you process it.
With the devil himself.
Back over the net.
Oh, good. I'm glad she's mentioned the demonic contracts that we're all signing, because absolutely nobody ever mentions that in these videos.
It's at that moment when a demon suddenly appears in his chambers. Introducing himself as Mephistopheles, he had been observing Faustus and offered him all the knowledge he desires. The catch? His soul. Without adequately weighing up the risks, Faustus agrees to the deal. Mephistopheles will serve Faustus for 24 years. But once those years are up, the devil will claim his soul for eternity.
Honestly, every bloody time so many people talk about these contracts that we're signing, I feel that in this video, Alex is wheeling out every single rinsed out, tired old phrase in the book. There is nothing truly original here. I feel like at least other people that claim to be ex-witches that are now Christians have a little bit more creative flair. You know, they share more about their personal journeys. There's more for me to get my teeth into in terms of their testimony of how they ended up walking with Jesus Christ. And I mentioned this.
Yeah, like, so Alex is just kind of doing the like milquetoast version of witches are bad, God is good. Like she's not even trying to be creative or do anything well here. I like Mephistopheles instead. Sounds like he likes ska. Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, this is just complete lazy. Like, it makes me think that she isn't actually Christian. Like she can't talk about her own journey, which she really hasn't released a video about her journey. And most people who convert, that's their story and they like telling their story. So the fact that she hasn't really released a video about her story and why she converted and what happened, I think that this is all a money grab. And it's less work to just open up the Bible and read a verse, because we did look through her TikTok the other stream, and that's all she's doing. She's like opening up a Bible, reading a verse, and talking about it. It's like that's a way less work than doing tarot readings for people. In the thick of it clips are so spot on. Yeah. Or the in thick of it. Okay, yeah. Most people I know throw a fit in weird, even knowing me and not running away. It makes people weird. When I wake up the first place, I'm going, is pagan moot. Okay, sorry, I can't follow that. Most people I know fit in. Oh, like your gang of people are just like oddballs. Yeah, like, yeah. That's saying I'm like, I don't really know what to call these at this point, because like all these different kinds of goth and different witches, and some goths aren't witches, and like whatever. So I just started calling this now the alt community. Like whatever, different religion, different like style of clothing, different way they view the world. I don't even know what to call it anymore. There's just so many different kinds out there. So yeah, it is definitely easier than tarot to do Christian content. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
This actually, when I analysed Alex's original video, the conversion video, I said that she never really goes into any specifics about her conversion journey. Throughout the entire conversion video, she doesn't really give anything too personal. She doesn't share her genuine perspective on how or why she ended up connecting with Christ. What is the origin story there? It was very, very stripped back. It was low on detail in the extreme. She fully left us guessing, which I think with a lot of testimonies, that's not the case. There is usually a story. Now, does the story usually fulfill some kind of tropes or some kind of script? Yeah, but I feel like it's more personalized from testimony to testimony, whereas Alex's was really giving nothing. She had nothing of interest that she wanted to divulge, and I can see that it is not going to get any better from here on out. There's just no originality in terms of the arguments that she's giving for why we should come over to the one true God and throw our tarot cards away. Everything that she's saying is a literal, it's not even a rehashing, it is word for word a copy of things I've heard before.
Let's have a conversation about it. And these are all things that I've renounced and that I have been delivered from, and I'm continuing to be delivered from. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. But these are things like the O method. And I don't, by any means, I don't want people researching this stuff. I'm not saying go and do this stuff, go and research it. I'm just saying, for those of you that are still in the New Age and in the occult, listen to what I'm saying. The O method, glamour magic, candle magic, doing curses and hexes and all this stuff. This is a faux sense of power. It's not real power.
For anybody that's confused, the O method is kind of a more newfangled phraseology that is used to symbolize the use of orgasm in magic. It is the continuation of a pre-existing idea that orgasm can be classed.
That's interesting, because normally you would just call it sex magic, and there is an O method with meditation and yoga on retreats, and because it's like helps sound when you make it, like it helps you heal and stuff. And there is an O method for yoga, and like you do the O, like it's this fucking thing. So I find it interesting that witchcraft has adopted this term. I never heard it before. My whole life, if you did this, this should just be sex magic. Like, I know that they're now calling it the O method. Yeah. The way she talks about magic is super uneducated. Yeah, and it seems kind of like I said, she doesn't have a story of what happened to her. And that was also what caused a lot of the uproar in the Witchtok community, because nobody knew why. But I think this is all a money grab. Like, this doesn't seem genuine on her part, you know? Method. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird that they're calling it this. So all I'm thinking of is yoga. I don't know.
As an ecstatic state. It can be classed as a way to open a portal through which you can receive gnosis. It can be classed as a way to gather up a great amount of energy and potency to send it in a certain direction to make manifest your desire in accordance with your will. So the O method is just kind of like a newer way of saying that. I mean, the fact that she's claiming that orgasm doesn't have any positive spiritual potential is probably a sign that she has not had one. Sorry, I don't mean to be crude, but come on now. Orgasm is so magical, darling. Seriously though, I'm not sitting here saying that it's right for everybody to be using the O method. I'm not sitting here like strongly encouraging people that aren't really up for it to try it in any magical sense or to think of it in spiritual terms if they don't want to. I think that's a deeply, deeply personal choice, and it's a deeply personal thing to decide that you want to fuck with. But I definitely think if you can't talk about its positive spiritual potential, don't talk about it at all, darling. Leave it to those of us who know and understand these things. Listen.
Well, no, it's still educated if they say like white magic, black magic, green magic, red magic, like that's fine. Like as it all like it means the same thing. Light and dark. I don't know. I would even argue it's not even necessarily light and dark. But I would argue that you can put whatever term you want on it, right? Because like I see, like I do call it like white magic or good magic or whatever, magic that doesn't wish harm on people. And then I call the other stuff black magic because it's like the dark stuff, it's like wanting to hurt people and things like that, right? But there are people that exist in the middle too. So they do like a little bit of both, right? So I don't really think the label necessarily of what type of magic you're doing matters, because there's so many labels out there too, right? Because there's like a lot of people will ask me some more probing questions, and I've been asked, and they're like, oh, so you essentially practice like earth magic. And I'm like, pretty much, like a kind of like a bog witch kind of deal, right? But I don't like to say that that's all it is, because I'm gonna work outside that box sometimes too, you know. There's so many different types of witches as well, you know. Yeah. What I mean is black magic isn't always bad. No, like there is times where I have used black magic for good, because it's not wishing harm on someone, but you have to use it sometimes to break a situation that was brought on to you by very strong forces, bad forces too, right? So yeah. Green magic is herbalist. Blessing, I mean, I'd even argue that it's earth magic too, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of, I think the labels aren't really a good idea. Other than, I think it's a good idea to sort of label what kind of witch you are, in a sense, because a lot of people believe that all witches are satanic witches. And the majority of witches like I've ever known in my life are not. Like, it's old world pagan. And I think it is important to educate people about paganism, because a lot of people don't know about the old world religions. And I think it's good to teach people that. And I think it's just good to try to break the trope that witches sold their soul to the devil or some crap like that. Or witches pray to the devil, or witches invoke demons. Because the only ones I know that kind of do that are like the satanic witches, right? Because they function under the Abrahamic faith mythos, whereas like I function more under, I do a lot of Celtic, but I do a little bit of Norse, and I do a little bit of Italian witchcraft as well, because Italian stuff is very interesting. So it has nothing to do with the Bible. It's all stuff from before the Bible. So like demons and devils and things like that, there is none in like my practices, because they didn't exist when these practices were around, right? So anyway, so I just think that it is important for us to explain what type of witch we are, because we can teach people. But I do think that labeling can get like a little bit screwy too, because we don't want to like, I don't know. Like, it's like if someone says that they practice white magic, you know that they mean they're trying to mean that they practice good magic, right? Like they're trying to practice like only spells that are good and positive, you know. But sometimes you do have to be in the gray area. I mean, I would even say I'm more on the side of like, you know, white magic or light magic, whatever, but I do go in the gray a lot of times too. So, you know, but yeah, anyway, I like native shamanism. I need to study more though. Yeah, shamanistic practices are very interesting. I grew up doing a lot of that stuff. We would go to like some of our friends' places and stuff and do there'd be like indigenous people there, and then there would be like indigenous shamans. They would show us how they do some stuff. We would do some ceremonies and things together, and it was always very fascinating. It really was. It was pretty cool, like, but eventually I get sick of it as a kid because my mom was like obsessed with that stuff. She loved the indigenous practices. So she would drag me to everything, and she bought like there was so much decor and stuff around the house that was all indigenous. I was just like, she like whatever. It fatigued me. She fatigued me. She did too much of it. But yeah, I still go to like powwow and stuff when I remember that it's running because it's always really interesting to see. I like their singing too. Yeah. All right,
You
let's
left the
get through
demonic
the rest of
disco,
this.
okay? We are still here. You went to that dimly lit box room somewhere at the back, okay? You stopped your demonic dancing. So just leave the O method to the rest of us, all right? Don't cite the deep magic to me, which I was there when it was written.
For a community that claims to be about freedom of expression and love and light and empathy and healing in the spiritual community is actually so toxic because all it focuses on me, my problems, what I need to heal from, what I need to grow from. I was the exact same, and yet none of us seem to have gotten any better. The majority of us still seem to really struggle. But I'll do this spell and I'll top up my jars and I'll do this and I'll do this method, but you never actually feel better. All you feel is a temporary high from a sense of power and a sense of superiority over, but you're actually just digging yourself deeper into a spiritual pit of death.
If I had a pound coin, honestly, for every time that somebody told me that they don't know who Alex Reed's tarot is, when I, spoke about it on socials, when I uploaded the video of her conversion, I would be filming this video from a 100-meter pool. There were a lot of people saying to me, I don't know who the fuck this person is. Who the fuck is this person,
I don't even know who you are.
She doesn't know that many of us. She wasn't connected to the witchcraft community. She was explicitly connected to the tarot community. And those two communities, for anyone who's not aware, don't necessarily naturally overlap. There are lots and lots of people that read tarot and read tarot professionally as tarot consultants and whatnot, who don't necessarily see themselves as witches or know that much about witchcraft. They're not necessarily interchangeable. So she never shared her witchcraft journey again that I remember. And she did not court the company of enough witches, I don't think, to be able to confidently say that we are all struggling and nothing is getting better for us. We are a massive, massive group of different kinds of practitioners. We work in different styles. We're in different locations all over the world. We are a varied bunch of different people. Who is she to say that she knows that none of us are doing better from practicing the craft? That we all seem to be struggling. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, on what basis? What authority does she have to say that? Where are the bloody statistics on that, Alex? I'm going to need some receipts, darling. And she says that we're all going further into the pit of death, I mean, I think I'm going steadily further into the pit of death the more that I watch this video from Alex, because it is such a drain on my life force. Like I said, there's no original meat on the bone here. This is very, very trotted out stuff. I mean, for those.
Yeah, no, the communities are very separate. But crap, just dropped a bunch of crap. Oops. The communities are very separate, but they do intersect, So when Alex Reed's tarot went down and she was like, yeah, I'm Christian now, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of Witchtok community that freaked out about it, but it was like, well, but she was never part of the Witchtok community, right? So I don't know. They do intersect, but they don't. But it seems like, I guess when there's drama, they do. I guess. I don't know. It does seem like they're more connected when there's drama going on. But yeah, no, it's totally different thing. Like witchcraft and tarot are totally different thing. There's a lot of witches that don't read tarot too. So yeah, it is very different.
Of you that have been around for a few episodes now, you will know that this is distinctly unoriginal. Like I said, there's normally some morsels that we can find that have originality or flair or whatever. They say a little bit of something about the ex-practitioner that is divulging them. But here, I mean, this is stale. This is dry. This is like a stale bread with nothing on it.
After leaving the craft and coming to Christ, I have never felt a sense of peace like this. It's been kind of strange to get used to. This peace, this joy, this sense of belonging, of, oh, really, all roads lead to Jesus. Like, you're searching for something. The majority of people, from my experience, who are in the craft, who are in the occult, you're searching for something. You're searching for peace, or for power, or for belonging, or for the chance to finally like yourself or to love yourself. Jesus can offer you all of that, and it is free. And there's no top-up scheme. There's nothing that you have to.
Like, yeah, like she doesn't know anything about witchcraft, does she? Like, so she's assuming that there's a scheme. So what, like you call the demons in and they're like, yeah, you're selling us 10% of your soul for the spell. Next time it's going to go up to 15%. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? This is total like propaganda shit. A sense of belonging unless you're gay or literally anything that they don't agree with. Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, right? Is like, that's also why, like, I never joined a church or anything like that, because I'm like, listen, I love the community. That's one thing I do like about it, but I wouldn't fit in with that community, and I would be ostracized and treated like shit. And that's the key thing, you know. She needs to search for a better haircut. A lot of people are doing this with the bangs now, like the flat and the one length hair. But just be glad her bangs aren't up here, because a lot of people are doing those tiny bangs. I hate those tiny bangs. They look horrible. Ugh.
To keep doing and going back to, and it's a relationship, and you actually know who you're going to.
So earlier in this episode, there was that guy that was talking about the unexplainable peace that comes when you let Jesus into your life, you know, and it's just like this unexplainable peace that happens. I think Alex is definitely playing the same game here. Again, it's got that culty feel. It's got that creepy feel that I really dislike.
Just a nice, warm, happy time. Happy. Ha 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 ha.
She's definitely barking up the same tree as that other guy from before in this episode. And like I said, I mean, they definitely think it's top tier PR. And for some people, it will be. For some people, it definitely will be. I always take it as a red flag. I have read way too many things about cults and mind control and brainwashing and high control groups to find that kind of thing attractive. I am way too clued up on that stuff, okay? You are never going to convince me to follow you into unexplainable peace. that to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too, because even you got the community, you got the religion and stuff with Christianity, and it's great, but like, it is culty, and you can fall into a bad cult. The majority of bad cults are Christian based. Like, there's not many that have not been Christian based. So it can be dangerous and slippery slope. And that's the only, like, I was wondering with Alex Reese Terror, I'm like, well, is she maybe in a cult? Because that can happen by accident very easily. Like, you need to really be aware that you're not falling into a cult. Like, even online, right? Let's say there's a big creator in one of the niches and everyone loves them and they're amazing and they've all developed this like weird parasocial relationship with them. Then anything that they start saying, people are accepting without proof, without receipts or anything, and they're just accepting whatever that person says. They're not questioning anything, and they're believing everything, even though to the contrary, they could look it up. The answers are available on someone else's channel or online or whatever it might be, but they just don't, because now they're in a cult of personality and they're just focused on that one creator, and whatever that creator says must be true, and that's it, you know? And that's why I thought, like, I was thinking that with Luna, like, did she fall into a cult? Because it seems like England, right? But if you talk to Sweet Goth is in Scotland, and she's told me about, there's a really bad, like, cults and stuff there, Christian-based cults. So it wouldn't be too difficult to fall into one if you were in the right part of, you know, the UK or Scotland or different parts of Europe. So, yeah. People just nod along and pick up the torches. Yeah, like that does happen. It's like, even in a community that would be a critical thinking community, it happens. And I've seen it a lot. It happens. People who normally would ask for receipts or proof of something, and they just stop doing that because that person has now become a cult leader to them, and they don't realize this has happened. Like it sort of just happens. And as like a creator or an influencer, you can become a cult leader, a cult of personality cult leader very easily and very quickly without even realizing you're doing it too. And your viewers, your followers, whatever, they become your cult members and they don't even realize it because of the nature of parasocial relationships, and it gets real out of control real fast. So yeah. Alex, not Luna. No, I said, did I say Luna? I meant Alex. I think I was reading Luna's comment. I'm talking about Alex, cult, whatever, you know. When I was a Christian, I nearly ended up in a few cults. Yeah. And that's the thing, like when I was younger, there were a few times that my mom pulled us out of things really quickly. And it was because my mom was a hippie. So, you know, there were a lot of situations that we were kind of like hanging out with hippie people that were like starting communes or came from a commune or whatever. And commune back in those days, like that led to cult. But my mom was very much against communes. She never wanted anything to do with them because, and I think it's because she recognized that they were cults. So she was pretty aware of that stuff, but it's with the internet, it's so easy to fall into a cult. Like it really is. And a lot of people don't even know that they're running a cult. And again, this is why shadow work or therapy is important, because you really should be checking yourself and doing an introspective every once in a while and be like, hey, am I in a weird toxic situation that I don't realize I'm in? You know, if they don't have cookies or cupcakes, I'm not joining. Yeah, they better have cupcakes. I like me some cupcakes. Yeah. Now I have a Living Color song playing in my head. Oh, James, you're official. Yeah.
Is like very, very suspect, highly suspect. She's saying that there's no top-up scheme. There's nothing that you need to keep doing. You know, you just give your life to Christ and then there's no other effort that you need to make. And that seems so lazy and so flat and disingenuous as a way of interacting with a religion.
But that's not even the way that religion, like Christians, work, because you're supposed to go to church, you know, you're supposed to donate to your church, you're supposed to give back to your community if you're in like a normal church, but you know, obviously there's ones that are doing weird shit. Like being Christian is not just okay, I'm Christian now and everything's fixed. Like you actually do still have to do work, right? So like even Alex saying that you don't have to do anything to top up anything. It's like, well, you kind of do. You're supposed to pray. You know, you're supposed to go to church. You're supposed to, like, even Alex doing these sermons on TikTok, that is the something that you're supposed to do, right? So it's just like Alex completely saying that there's nothing that you need to do as a Christian is a little bit disingenuous, because if you want to be a good Christian and if you want to make sure you're living your life by whatever, blah, 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 it's a constant daily struggle, because you also are looking out for sin and you don't want to sin. So that takes work. Everything takes work, you know? Remember when you said, let's wait and see how her knowledge of Christianity is to see if she even knows a little bit about, and how she does with witchcraft. Yeah. That's where it was like, you know, Witchtok started freaking out really quickly. And like Luna said, they loved their drama. And that's where I was just like, why are you guys freaking out? Like, we don't even know yet. We don't even know her story of how she converted. And the fact that she won't tell that story, that is actually very suspicious. Makes me think that this is all just a money grab, because every Christian who converted to Christianity by choice later in life, like teenager, adult, whatever, they always love to tell their story. They can't stop talking about their story. And the fact that Alex refuses to tell her story, that's something that we should actually be questioning, to be honest. Yeah. There's no shame in therapy, and it can teach you enough psychology to these type of individuals so they don't get in your head and you can see the BS. Yeah, no, 100%. I really recommend therapy. Like I'm in therapy again. Like I go to therapy a lot. I come in and out of it because here it's free for like 7 or 8 weeks. And then sometimes they can like tack on up to, I think it's 10 or 15 sessions, like 10 or 15 weeks. If you really need it, they'll tack on more. And then we get that for free here in Canada. And then you have to like take, I think it's a few months or something in between each time that we can go to therapy. Usually I attend it and I start doing better. They give me some tools and I start working through it. And then it's usually like, I don't know, sometimes it's once a year, sometimes it's once every 3 years, 4 years. And then I'll end up back in therapy again, just because it's like shit happens in life, but it's good for you. It is really good for you. But even therapy's taught me stuff, because I go to CBT and some other stuff, and it teaches you how to work through your problems, which is shadow work. Like the thing, shadow work is just therapy. It's just this, but you've got to do the work. It's like with therapy, like she's saying she's Christian, but she doesn't have to do any work. No, like if you're an addict or you're someone who's going to therapy for like depression, you have to do the work. Like you have to put in the work to try to get better. You can't just attend and talk and do nothing. Like you've got to actually try, So yeah, everything that she's saying about not having to do anything and not having to do any work is completely BS, Now she says tarot is evil. Yeah. Yeah, therapy is really great. Hey, KK.
That centers around the story of God in physical manifestation, who went around talking about like helping your neighbor and protecting the marginalized, and like, I don't know, attending to the sick and rising up against tyranny. What do you mean? What do you mean there's nothing else to do? There's no top-up scheme. There's nothing on the checklist. You just...
Okay, like for real, I did not pre-watch this episode. I know it seems like I did, because everything that I'm pausing and saying, she is saying it right after me. I did not watch this. I wanted to blind react to it with you guys. So I did not. I'm trying not to copy what she's saying, but this is just happening. Yeah. If you talk it, walk it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, I've been lurking, packing up my apartment. All right. Yeah. KK. Yeah. You got a lot of crap you got to go through. Yeah.
Convert, and that's that. I mean, I think there should be a few things on your to-do list if you are a Christian that believes in the word of Christ. Surely this is always something that I've found confusing about these testimonies, is that so many of them want to appeal to you through saying, you just convert and then it's nothing more, like you'd have to.
Okay, speaking of my psychic story, and Douglas knows this is a weird one. Okay, so I don't know what happened. I feel like this is a dream. This is a side tangent. We're going on a side quest. Okay. I thought this happened in real life. I was on Facebook on my phone, and then a thing came up saying that they found Nancy's body. What is it? Nancy. All that's going through my head now is Nancy Grace, but it's not Nancy Grace. Brain fart. Nancy Guthrie. Okay. So I was on my phone, and then a Facebook news thing came up saying they found Nancy Guthrie's body. So I was like, okay, you can't always believe everything on Facebook. So I opened up Google, and I Googled Nancy Guthrie body update, and I read some articles, and they found her body. There's like a body of water not far from the house, like a mile or something from the house. And that's where they found her body finally. And then the police arrested the son-in-law, not Savannah's, but the other daughter, son-in-law, for the murder, because he did it for money, because he owed Nancy Guthrie money. There was a debt that she was asking for back, and that's why he did it. And the thing is, that's crazy. This is vivid. Okay. I swear this happened. I did this. Like, I swear. And then I thought that was the end of it. And like, because I was really just kind of keeping an eye on like where are they going to find Nancy Guthrie's body? Because there's this thing going on with the psychic Donna Serafina, and her followers are certain that it's going to be in that Mexico place. I don't think so. I think that this anonymous tip was Donna calling it in, because she does shit like that. Like, she gets way too involved. In my opinion, I don't know that she calls in tips, but she gets far too involved. She contacts victims' families directly, so if she called in an anonymous tip, I feel like it might have been her, or it could have been one of her followers who watches her psychic reading. So the thing is, my point is, I was keeping an eye out for any news on Nancy Guthrie's body location, to be like, look, Donna was wrong, because Donna's making a big deal out of this Mexico location, right? And I swear that was it. And so I kind of moved on with my life, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we're talking in the group chat, and I was like, oh, look, what's her name? You know, that psychic that we had an issue with before, Douglas. Married Nick. Can't remember her name. She made a video about like being a psychic detective, blah, 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 Nancy Guthrie. And I was like, oh, look, she released a video after the body was found. How convenient, right? And Taryn's like, oh, the body was found? I didn't hear about that. And I was like, yeah. So I tell her the story. And then she like looks it up. She's like, no, they never found her body yet. I'm like, really? So I started like Googling it. Nothing. I'm like, I swear this happened. Like, maybe it was a dream, but I swear Tessa, that's the psychic. Yeah. It's really weird because this is like, it's very strange because it didn't feel like a dream. Like I lucid dream. So I know when I'm dreaming, and when I have memories, I know it was from a dream kind of thing. So I'm like, this is weird because I swear I wasn't asleep. Like I was awake and I did this, and I looked it up. I fact checked it. I was reading articles, and it's like, no, this hasn't happened. So point is, there's my psychic prediction. Anyway, that's the point of my story. It was just so weird. Like, I'm not saying I'm psychic. Like, it was just such a weird, vivid, like, memory. I don't know. Maybe I jumped timelines. Anyway, that's my story.
Do anything. And I just feel like, okay, I mean, surely there's some other steps. I mean, you could be out there, Alex. You could be out there behaving in a
Okay, no, like this. Yes, I get brain fog, but that's when we forget things like the name of a fork, or like somebody's name, or like we'll forget like specifics of something, but we remember the general gist of a situation, right? Like, I don't remember which news outlets I was reading. I just remember I Googled it, and then I went to the news button and I was reading through articles and stuff, right? But I couldn't tell you which news outlets it was, you know? So it's like, yeah, I know my brain and memory sucks. And I've lost a lot of long-term memory of things that are just like memorized, things that I had memorized that just kind of been knocked out of my brain. And I get that. But like, long-term memory really sucks, but this didn't happen that long ago. It was like 2-3 weeks ago or something when this happened. And I was just talking to them like a few days back about this thing this memory that I have. No, I know you're not. I know, Dust. No, I know you're giving me a hard time. It's fine. Aliens. Yeah, it must have been the aliens. I don't know. I think that we jumped timelines. My friend says she gets dreams that come true all the time.
Now connected to Florian.
All right, Alexa. My friend says she gets dreams that come all the time, that come true all the time. I told her to write them down and check them because it could have been a weird recall where present stuff goes straight to memory. That's what I think a lot of those dreams are, right? I did dream about like 9/11 all through my high school years. However, I think it's because like there's always been wars going on in the Middle East, right? So it's like, I thought when things went down, I thought, oh my God, that must have been like why I was dreaming like this for like the last 6 years or something. I had this recurring dream about being in the desert. It's like a whole thing. And then it stopped after the 9/11 thing. But I think that like, it was just, we're taught a lot of the wars and stuff in school about past war. Like every history class it was only about war. That's all we learned about. It was super boring and I hated it. But I'm like, I think just like things like Desert Storm and things stuck in my head. And then I just kind of went with it from there. But anyway, yeah, the streams. What's weird to me is these YouTubers who find people in cars, deep in bodies of water, see tons of automobiles under the water too. Really makes me want to go swimming in lakes now. Yeah, for psychics, it's like 90% of the time they'll say it's in or near a body of water. Like, yeah, because the thing is, a lot of times that's where people dump bodies. So it is just like a percentage thing. Yeah. I read something about how recall can corrupt memory. It can, James. Yeah, actually in my last pre-recorded video I did on the GATE program, I showed a few studies that were showing how like we will rewrite our memory when we recall it. We will also add new details to it without realizing we're doing this. And we will also rebuild a memory when we recall it. So like it's not even stored correctly. And we're talking long-term memory. So like they're talking about a lot of this because like how accurate really is witness testimony. If you wait too long, it becomes really, really messy and doesn't, it's no good, you know? So I barely remember my dreams anymore unless they're nightmares. Yeah, like I don't remember as many dreams anymore, but I forget them very quickly. Because I will lucid dream and then I have my dream, and when I have my dream, it's like a whole movie, and I play out the script, like I change it as I go. I can get up, go to the washroom, go back to bed, continue my movie, do whatever I'm doing. It's entertainment for me. And I do have nightmare dreams, don't get me wrong. But it's like I get up, I remember the dream for a minute, and then I like get dressed or brush my teeth or whatever, and then it's gone. I'm like, I don't remember what I dreamed about last night, but it was very detailed. I just remember that it's always very detailed. So yeah, you didn't start a band and have major influence on a generation. Yeah. Oh man.
Christ-like manner, doing these things that Christ did in the Gospels. I mean, not necessarily expecting, you know, the magical miracles, but just like living in a Christ-like fashion and filming that for social media and talking about how you're doing more of that and you're doing it to get into greater closeness with Christ. But instead you decided to have yourself a great big blowout and then sit in the backyard chatting fucking breeze. I think there was probably something else that could have been of a higher priority. I am really sassy in this one. I'm so sorry. I'm usually a little bit more informational, but I feel like this is this is giving nothing that I haven't seen before. I've given you all the information about why these arguments are dross. I've given you everything I possibly could give you on something this unoriginal in terms of content. So I guess that's why I'm getting a little bit catty, a little bit cattier than usual.
It's like as I'm talking about this, it just makes me feel like queasy, because it's like your spiritual safety matters and you're jeopardizing that. You're jeopardizing that for some glamour magic. You're jeopardizing that for wanting to manifest someone. It's just not worth it. And the thing is that Jesus will clean the decks. He will clean the decks for you. He will give you.
He's bringing up glamour magic. It's not a thing. It's really not like, it's not a prevalent thing. And if it's a thing, it's like a lot of misunderstanding. And then she keeps talking about, what was the other one again?
That's it. And the thing is that Jesus will manifest someone. It's
right. She keeps talking about manifestation. Prayer is exactly the same thing as manifestation. Like it's literally the same thing. So like it's so wild to me when Christians, whatever, insult manifestation, and it's like that's what fucking prayer is though. Like it's so freaking annoying.
It's just not worth it. And the thing is that Jesus will clean the decks. He will clean the decks for you. He will give you that peace. But the reason why a lot of people don't want to come to Christ is because they realize that they're going to have to lay their life down. They realize that they're going to have to surrender all of their desires to Him. All of them. And that was uncomfortable for me.
What do you mean that was uncomfortable for you? What do you mean by that? You didn't lay down your life by surrendering your desires. You are literally doing what you desire to do. You desired to close down your business and start another venture using the clout that you received from your previous life. And then you chose.
Okay, but like, isn't it weird though that we're supposed to be given free will, right? So we're supposed to be given free will. That's something God gave us. So why the hell are we giving up our free will to be a Christian? Wouldn't God want us to keep our free will and still worship Him? You know, like what? Why do they always act like we got to give everything up? Like, why are we giving ourselves up? That goes against what God wanted for humans, right? So like, there's something I like never really understand about statements like that. Like, God didn't want that for you though, you know?
To slot yourself into an evangelical agenda where you could be prized as the special unicorn that they wheel out for their PR. You chose very, very consciously to make the conversion video that you did, where you reassured your dedicated audience members and clientele that you would not be coming for them and their belief systems. And then you consciously desired and chose to go back on that, to lie about that. Essentially, you bore false witness. That's what, to use your fucking new language, Alex, to use your new lexicon, you are a bearer of false witness. You lied in that conversion video, and you now desire to go back on that and say the things that you're saying. You're doing everything that you desire. And sure, there may be some level.
Do you think that's why Alex deleted that video? I bet that's why she deleted that video, because now she's going against everything she said in that video. Interesting. When your kids were babies, you'd wake up, feed them, be up for less than an hour, go back to sleep, resume my dream. Yeah, I do that too. It's like, as long as I like don't start my day, I can just resume my dream again. Yeah. Does she realize the plants behind her look like she's a witch surrounded by plants? Yeah, she kind of does. Yeah. Jesus will file your taxes and deep clean your entire home. Apparently he'll just do everything for you. Yeah. Manifestation is the new age language. To be honest, I don't like it. It's trying to keep witchcraft at arm's length. It's pseudo-Christian. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that it is. See, like, I usually do what Nikola Tesla did. That's usually what I do, like the 3-6-7 method or whatever, right? I don't know that it's bad. I don't think that it's even witchcraft. I honestly think it's psychology. Like to be honest, I think it's psychology, and you're tricking your subconscious into helping you achieve what you want to achieve because you're having trouble making it happen, right? But if every day I spend like 3 times a day going through what my list of what I want to manifest, it's like reminding me that this is my goal, right? And that's why I think manifestation works. It's not powerful. It's not like a spell. It's not anything like that. It's just like, it's psychology, right? Like you look yourself in the mirror in the morning, you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do like, or you don't say I'm going to, you have to say, I have it. So I have a new car. I have a new car. I have a new car. And then you think about it, and then you do it like at lunch, and then you do it at bedtime or dinner or something, right? I just think that it is tricking your mind to try harder. You know what I mean? Like, I do think it's all psychological is my point.
Of discomfort that have come from the way that witches and tarot people have responded to the conversion, and then the way that she's going back on the conversion. And I get that. I understand that, right? She's taking some heat right now, whether she's watching it anymore or not. I know that she said previously that she was watching everything. Maybe she's chosen to take a break from it now. I don't know. But I feel like when you do something like the turnaround that Alex has done, and when you lie in your original conversion video and you make people feel comfortable and safe with your gentle interfaith perspective, and then you go back on that, the discomfort that you're feeling is correct. It's appropriate. You should trust it. You should follow it. You should feel uncomfortable about what you've done. You've played people, and that should feel uncomfortable. That's a good thing.
I've had this really bad feeling, like, in my brain. And
it's called guilt, Jeremy. Most people feel it quite a bit when they've done something wrong.
Anyway, I don't think she's laid down her life and surrendered her desires. I don't think that's what's happened at all. I think she now desires to build a very strong following and potentially sell products and services or be paid to do speaking gigs or whatever within her new paradigm. And it's fine to pursue that desire, but don't pretend that you laid down your life and surrendered your desires. You know, I'm sorry. Go and do something that's actually difficult, and then perhaps we can have that conversation. But I feel that's very histrionic. You've got to lay down your life and, surrender your desires, or however she said it. I just feel like, have you done that really, Alex? Is that what you've done? I don't think so, somehow, sweetheart. I don't personally think so, but that's just my opinion. Get at me in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'll be honest with you, I'm sort of skipping through this a little bit now, my darlings, because I'm getting a little bit bored. There's a little bit of repetition here about laying yourself bare for Satan, which is nowhere near as exciting as it sounds. I wish it was more exciting, but it's really not.
And there can be a lot of accusations from the spiritual community towards those of us who follow Christ to be like, oh, you're always using fear tactics, you're always using scare tactics. But does it not concern you on some level of your being that you can't actually know for certain who you're working with. And for those of you that know who you're working with, why? Like, why?
Because people are different to you, Alex. That's why. People are different to you. They have their own points of view. They have their own journeys. They are their own complex and unique individuals. They do not have to do what you say. They don't have to follow what you think they should do. And this is something that you falsely claimed that you completely understood and you completely accepted in your conversion video. And again, that is bearing false witness. That's what's happened there. I mean, how do you know for sure who you're working with, Alex? How do any of you Christian ex-witches know for sure who you are working with? Because it cuts both ways. You know, if a witch can be working with who they think is Athena, but actually it is Satan in disguise, then you, by the same measure, can think that you're working with the Lord Jesus Christ and you could be working with Satan himself, right? Like, it absolutely cuts both ways. I really, really think there's no discernible difference there. A Christian ex-witch.
Yeah, like even not every witch is like working with someone or something like in that sense, right? Like most of the time when I do work, I don't like adopting any names of anything because I don't like the energy attached to them. So the only names I will use if I use a name will be Hecate or Gaia, but I'm referring to like the Mother Earth. But I don't see Gaia or anything else because otherwise how I see it is the universe. I just see it as like, I think that there's just fates and things that get laid out and we go on this path and we can change our journey. We can ask for help, whatever. But I don't think that there's like a god or a goddess is giving it to us. I think it's just the energy of the universe. So most of the time when I do my work, I actually put out like a statement to the universe. I just call it the universe. And I don't see it as like a thing necessarily. I don't see it as a person. I don't see it as like a being that's giving me something, right? And then sometimes I'll do Hecate stuff specifically, and I'm trying to tap into, you know, the energy of her from like ancient Greece, because she's the only god, she's the only deity for witches, you know? So yeah. All right, let's see what I said. Not manifestation per se, but the language. Yeah, there's some buzzwords that are annoying me lately, like vibration. Fucking hate that buzzword now. It's so dumb. I'd be curious what Christians would think about her saying she laid down her life because wasn't it Jesus who did that for us? That's a good one. That's a good point, actually. Yes, yes. She literally just told us she started following Jesus and now isn't doing anything else. So how hard could it actually be? Yeah, like she is representing Christianity very badly here, to be honest. The only people who are listening to her in an accepting way don't need convincing. Exactly, James. Like that's the reality of it. These people that are like preaching online and on social media, everyone who's following you doesn't need to be converted. But like, why do people watch the content if they're already converted? I don't know. It's just like wild. I don't know. But why, Alex? Why did you chop your bangs that way? Jesus doesn't look bangs. I think they look like that before too. This is just her look. Yeah. It's very odd to me how Christians talk about Jesus like they want to have a carnal relations with him. Yeah. Yeah. And then you see there's like Saturday Night Live. They have like a few skits they did that are like doing it with Jesus songs. It's like a commercial for like an album that someone's singing. I think South Park did it too, but Saturday Night Live has one that's really funny. And I think it was like Will Ferrell or something. God, I can't remember. But like they were singing these songs about Jesus and they were so sexual, but they were also not sexual. Like, you know, it was like innuendos and it was so funny. I keep missing your question. Oh, what did you say, Ken? Where are you? I saw LOL Victoria. Where are you? I don't see. I see about the babies. Did it like knock your question off? Hold on. Maybe I need to go to the other, like there's like this, there's like top chat and then there's live chat. Let me flip to this maybe. I don't see your question, Ken. You're going to need to ask it again because I do not see a question in here. I need you to ask it again. Download is another new buzzword that they latch to. Yeah, I hate the download thing too. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Guarantee they're going to be saying prompt for spiritual stuff soon, like the universe prompt, like AI. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, because there's a lot of AI psychosis going on right now too, and a lot of people are like following AI like it's a god, like they're starting religions based on AI. Yeah. I don't see your question, Ken. I see you talk about aliens. Hey, Dust, Nancy Guthrie. Said hello to people. I don't see it. You're gonna have to ask it again. Sorry. I believe that God and goddesses are anthropomorphic representations of qualities we value. Yeah, like I try to like not view them as things or beings or people or whatever. It's just like energies, you know, and I guess the universe is energies too. If your question isn't popping up for me still, Ken, YouTube might be auto holding it for something, because they do like this auto shadow ban thing that we have no control over, by the way. Like it just does it. So you can throw it in Discord if it's not popping up, because I'm not seeing nothing. I went to a Christian high school. The amount of people on fire for Christ and Jesus coming in your heart was a lot. Yeah. It's really funny, isn't it?
Come back to me and say no, because if you claim that you are for Christ and if you claim that you walk in the light of Christ, then it's Christ himself always that comes forward. And it's like, okay, but says who? I could say the same for you about Thor or Dionysus. I could say, oh yeah, but listen, when I claim the God that I want to work with and follow and be a part of and be devoted to, it's them that comes forward. I know it. I know that. That is an irrefutable fact in my paradigm. So we could just go round in this circle forever and ever and ever.
I'd rather have cat AIDS, thank you.
But let's not do that. I think I want to get off for now. There's more from Alex, but let's leave it for another day, shall we? I think that's quite enough from Alex for today.
2 years later, 250,000 followers.
The Kraken awakes.
Almost 4,000 people out of the occult, I think, from what I've counted.
What?
And going, because 1,000 of them left the occult with me. When I came out and spoke about it, they left with me. They said, Jess, we trusted you in witchcraft. We trusted you as a psychic. We trust you now. And not one of them has gone back. I think all of them have got baptized. And then since that 1,000, when I started getting bigger online, my inboxes were getting hammered from witches. And not the kind of hammering you think. Jess, you mentioned about the paranoia. Is this the witchcraft? Yeah. Okay, I'll give it all up. Jess, you mentioned about the sense of doom. Is this the witchcraft? Yeah. And I described it in detail and they said, that's exactly what I've been going through. I'm throwing my tarot cards in the bin. One by one, boom, 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 message, 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 message. And I thought to myself, why are these girls in the occult feeling so comfortable with me? There are so many other people talking about Jesus.
Jeez.
What is it? So I sat with God and I said, how do you want me to do this? And he said, I want you to be honest about everything. And I have, and I've put myself on the line for it. And it's not easy to come out and say, oh, hi everyone, I've been teaching you witchcraft for 5 years. It's all evil, by the way. You can tell, you already know the kind of backlash I got from that.
Yes.
The Bruiser is back. The Bruiser. If anybody does not understand what I mean by that, by the way, you need to go back a couple of episodes.
For context, I was a witch for 15 years. I was also a Bruiser witch, so I had a lot of experience in the craft. And I left the craft 2 years ago finding Jesus.
Bruiser? What the fuck is a Bruiser? There's a whole playlist of these episodes in case you want to binge the Christian cringe. Go right ahead. But yes, I'm referring to something from an earlier episode. We have heard from this one before, and I'm so delighted to see her come up again. Listen, we know this woman has been bearing false witness the entire time she's been talking about her journey in witchcraft. So much of the stuff that she shared is just straight up misinformation. Anyone that's seen her talking about her former practices can tell you that a lot of it is hokum.
A huge mound of shite.
She's an unreliable source. She's very, very often.
Yeah, I think that this one, like, she never was, like, she's just lying. She never was, like, a witch with 250,000 followers and all the other crap, too. And that's the thing, I was going to say, like, with that, I'm like, prove it. Prove that you had a witch, like, profile. What was it called? Let's look it up, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It might be using trigger words. So if you want to send it on Discord, and then, you know, I can answer it there. Or if send it now or whatever, then I can answer it on the stream here. I went to Christian high school. The amount of people on fire. Oh yeah, we did that one. Okay. I heard the phrase saving yourself for Jesus far too often. Oh yeah, that is kind of creepy. Yeah, yeah. Purity culture's creepy. Yes. Abruja. Yes. I was given purity ring by my father. The weird shit between Christian and father daughters is a whole level. It is. And that's the thing. And like a lot of the like cults that do, you know, child like CSA, a lot of them are Christian based or, you know, Abrahamic religion based. It can get gross. Yeah. Pretty quickly. And then you get into the Mormon stuff. That's a whole
fearmonger, and she likes to peddle sensationalism instead of explaining what actually happens in witchcraft, if indeed she does know. Now, in this clip, she's giving herself quite a bit of credit for pulling 4,000 people out of the occult after her. So when she left, all of these people went with her out of the occult. And I don't think there are going to be many witches that are going to be bothered by that. It's not like we're clutching our invisible pearls and being like, oh, you made off with 4,000 witches, where it's such a loss. You know, it's so terrible, how painful. Because contrary to what she wants to peddle, witchcraft and the occult is not some kind of locked down spiritual pig pen where we try and keep people in there and we convince people to remain. The door is open and you are free to fuck off and then hop back as many times as you desire, right? There is no sense that we need to keep foot soldiers for Satan, I'm sorry to have to say. I've definitely seen some of the more clouty ex-witches saying things like this before. You know, I made off with all these witches. I pulled all of these witches out of the pit after me, and now they follow me in the light of the one true God. And, you know, fine. I don't know if that's supposed to be a kind of like two middle fingers to us as witches, but we don't care, you know. I think if somebody feels they need to be rescued by somebody with a lot of superiority and a lot of saviorism inside of them, then that's absolutely fine. You know, I might worry if it was a friend of mine, a fellow practitioner who's also in my life or who is a client of mine, I might have concerns because of what they are heading towards and what initially attracted them and the kind of fear mongering that has caused them to make that life switch, right? That decision for me would be based on a lot of sensationalism and things that are not true. And that would be a concern for me. But it's not like, you know, I feel bereft because we have less witches in the flock, because there is no flock. All right. Witches are not sheep. We do not go in the same direction in accordance with the orders of the shepherd. We are much more like cats than we are like sheep. We cannot agree on anything, and we like it that way.
I suppose your gods aren't as cryptic as ours.
Our gods are dead. Ancient Klingon warriors slew them a millennia ago. They were more trouble than they were worth.
I don't think I'll ever understand Klingons.
Don't worry about it, Major. Nobody does. It's the way they like it.
Witches are very much free to come and go at will. And one thing that I really love about witchcraft actually is that you can't go on the internet any day of the week and see loads of videos from witches fear mongering, telling you how terrifying it's going to be and how much you're going to suffer if you leave witchcraft. It just doesn't work like that. And that is something that I really love and adore about the spiritual community that I'm a part of. There's a lot wrong with it, but that is something that is very right with it. When people leave, you know, we simply want them to leave without spreading an insidious pack of lies all over the internet. But I think it's fair to say we're not holding our breath on that score, because we know what time it is when certain people leave. You know, it can be fairly obvious that they're immediately going to start coming back and chatting the absolute most utter bag of balls about things that literally none of us do, or that really don't sound like they ever happened, you know. So there's a lot of eye rolling over on this side of the line, but there's no pearl clutching and teeth grinding and, oh my God, don't make off with our witches. I mean, let me know in the comments down below if you feel that when you hear her say, I converted 4,000 people from witchcraft to the other side. But like, I don't give a fuck, to be honest.
Yeah, like Christians are so obsessed with converting people. Not all Christians, but these ones. We don't convert people. And yeah, and that's the other thing that I have a problem with too, with Christianity, is constantly talking about being in sin, going to hell, you know, we're born with original sin. Like, it's just like, why is that religion so negative? You know what I mean? Like, it's so negative. All that they talk about is always like bad things are going to happen to you. You need to control yourself. Oh, you're already sinned before you've had a chance to sin. And I don't know, it just seems like very fear mongering, you know? Occult just means hidden. Yeah, occult just means hidden. I think at this point it's just kind of like a word to try to explain the alts kind of religions and paganism and just like different things like that. I don't know. There's like one good word anymore because everything is so eclectic now, like more eclectic than ever. So there just isn't really like a good word for it. But yeah, Christians have occult practices and occult works as well. There's stuff that is hidden or even just lost through time. And there's like secret organizations and stuff, occult organizations that were built upon the Christianity, like Rosicrucian, Order of the Rosy Cross, like that was built upon it. I was raised Rosicrucian to begin with. And then I switched into my religion I chose around age 13 or so. So like there's like a lot of occult organizations that have actually happened. Okay, you got your question on there. Okay. All right. Did you get around to watching the Hannah video about manifestation horror series on TikTok? No. So that's weird that it's holding that comment. I don't know why. I watched Loie Lane's video. It just kind of like came on when I was like doing makeup and getting ready for something, and I was like, oh, I should watch Hannah's. But then she said she didn't watch Hannah's video yet, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch Loie because she's like a little bit more, what's the word, like she falls for things easier, or she gets more into the horror of stuff, you know what I mean? Like she gets a little bit more less skeptic. And then I was going to watch Hannah's video and I ran out of time that day and I forgot to go back to it. I do need to go check it out. I told Joan also to do that series because she wanted to know like what she should do for a video. I'm like, you should cover this series, the Manifestation Megan, or what is it called again? Anyway, if you go to Loie Lane's channel or Hannah the Horrible's channel, they recently did videos on this and it's like an ARG that's happening on TikTok, but it started off as like, this woman had a manifestation TikTok and she was talking about manifestation and everything. And then she manifests everything and everything goes wrong. And it's a horror story. Right. And last I heard like on Loie's thing is that there hasn't been a new upload since, like it might be over. It might have just been like a very short ARG or a very short story of some sort. So it was very cool. Yeah. I do got to check out Hannah's thing. I did watch it through Loie's channel so far. It's a really interesting story. Fear-mongering is exactly what it is. And who wants to follow a God that demands you love him or else? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is an abusive relationship. 100% it is. Because anytime that they angered God, he would come down and smite you. It's like, it is an abusive relationship. Like at least Jesus, like technically Jesus never hurt anybody, right? So that's why it's like, I understand if you don't follow the New Testament, how you might be more aggressive or like whatever, right? I'm like, okay, but most time people like that aren't really, I don't know, around here, I guess, like North America, that isn't really a problem. The problem is the evangelical Christians, and evangelical Christians believe in Jesus, and Jesus would never want you to act this way, but God is okay to do it though to us. I think that too, that there's that disconnect, right? It's like Daddy God is allowed to beat the crap out of you, but brother Jesus would never hurt you. It's like, huh? Anyway, yeah, it's cool but creepy. It is, yeah. It's really well done series too. So, yeah, I gotta check out Hannah's video. I'll try to remember to watch it tonight. Yeah,
with you. And listen, not to be petty, but I've probably converted just about as many people accidentally. I wasn't trying to, but through my videos, I know that a lot of people have said that they finally felt free to explore witchcraft and to explore their spirituality and to step out from under the Christian umbrella. So, you know, I'm just not egoic about it, but I could definitely flex those same numbers.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I would argue that the 4,000 witches that apparently left with this practitioner should have left, right? Because I think if your beliefs were based on something as flimsy as following her wherever she happens to be going, then most likely you weren't going to be as strong in witchcraft as you could.
And that's the thing. So if this woman is for real and she had those followers and they followed her out of witchcraft, that is called a cult. That is a cult of personality, and those are your cult members. Congratulations, you have successfully created a cult. Yes. Have you ever watched the channel Pantheon Mythology? Maybe. I do watch like a lot of mythology stuff and like history channels and stuff. I'll have to check it out. I maybe have watched it because I have like random ones I watch. I don't remember like the channel names, but I just kind of throw them on when I'm sleeping or cleaning or doing something. Just kind of like, it's archaeology. I love archaeology stuff too. That's another good one.
Potentially be in that brand of Christianity. Maybe you would be a good devotee also in a cult of personality, because that is what happens in a cult of personality, right? It's follow the leader. And in my experience, most high-powered, sovereign, conscious witches don't do that, right? Their instinct is to do the opposite of that.
I'm about to tell you things that witches don't want you to know, and the moment I start, watch what tries to stop you from finishing this video.
Honestly, the overwhelming urge to do spells and dance with demons might very probably stop me from watching this video, but I will try to get through it. I'm feeling the itch, I'm feeling the urge, but I will try to get through and listen to what you're saying. Come on then, tell us what it is that witches don't want people to know. I'm very curious. What is it that I don't want people to know? Let's find out.
I feel the need to equip you, not just encourage you, but to equip you. The body of Christ is being picked apart right now by something that most believers do not have language for, but I do. I was on the other side of it 12 years in the occult, and I didn't just dabble. I operated through a dark bloodline magic, and I assigned, I commanded. So let me tell you what happens when a witch sends a monitoring spirit against you.
Did anybody else hear that? What the heck?
So like, did they just add sound effects to their video to make it seem like a demon's coming? It's so dumb. Why are you dressed in your paramedic outfit too? Like, come on. It's so stupid. Yeah, this one's very cringy. Yeah. I've heard Jesus is not the son of the Old Testament God, but he came to bring knowledge of the true God and correct the error. That'd be interesting, actually. I like that idea better. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus cursed a tree once when he was hangry. Also, one time he beat the money lenders in the temple, angry. Yeah, but weren't those supposed to be like lessons or something? And then he like learned to forgive or some crap like that. I can't remember the details of every little thing. Yeah.
What just happened with the music? Was that some kind of like strange audio trickery? I feel like the audio was laced with a subliminal message or something. Is that what happened?
It doesn't come in loud. It comes in really quiet. It settles into your atmosphere like it belongs there. It studies you at first. Your routine, your prayer life, when you're in the Word and when you're not, when you're covered in the blood and when you have left a door cracked open. It's patient, calculated. It's looking for the most effective entry point. Then it starts to work. Your thoughts start to shift. Thoughts that don't even sound like you. Doubt, confusion, sudden heaviness for no reason. You start to pull back from worship. Your prayers start to feel dry. You feel disconnected from God and you can't figure out what is going on.
I'm getting fucking tinnitus here.
Oh, those sound effects are pissing me right off. I see what's happening here. I get it. Is this a new trend? Is this a new thing, or is this just this one individual that's doing it? So this person at the beginning was like, pay attention to what tries to like stop you from watching the video. And I think that they have basically inserted the sound fluctuations and the kind of like doom laden bass and the choir sounds and stuff. I think they've inserted them as the distraction. So the thing that is supposed to be distracting you from the experience is this very kind of like emotive, weirdly twisty, turny music. It's supposed to be like a soundscape that causes the distraction. I think it's supposed to represent demons coming close to you or something, which is definitely questionable to use sound in that way during such a time as maybe people are coming to your video worried or searching for the truth or trying to understand more about their conflicted feelings about spirituality. I think a manipulative soundscape is not really something that I consider to be greatly ethical in this situation. I don't know what's pissing me off more. It's either the manipulative music or the very like obviously AI generated script, because I definitely think that what this person is saying is very AI generated. I usually do not like the accusation that gets bandied around all the fucking time about things being AI generated, but come on. This person is blatantly reading something from ChatGPT. Chat Jesus PT. I was like, Jesus? Chat Jesus PT. I just feel like there's no emotion going on as they're saying the words. Like the words that they're saying aren't linking up. I get that some people can have very flat affect and not everything has to be like emotive and evocative, darling, like you're treading the boards or something. But I just don't feel like this person's energy is matching up to the words that supposedly came out of their head. And it just seems a bit AI to me. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
It didn't happen by accident. It's a disruption. Relationships get stirred up out of nowhere. Spiritual warfare in your dreams, waking up at 3 a.m., your heart is racing, you feel a presence in your room, but you can't see anything. Something you catch out of your eye sometimes. A shadow, a movement, and then it's gone before you can actually look directly at it. And I need you to really understand something about that. Sometimes they let you see them on purpose. The moment that you see it, fear creeps in.
All this person has succeeded in doing so far is irritating me to the point of actually thinking that I might fucking rage quit this video. I actually might rage quit because the sound is doing my Swede in, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's what I think they're trying to do though, right? They're trying to mess with the sound to annoy the crap out of you so that you move past the video. That's exactly it. So then they fulfill their purpose of the video. So yeah. Hey, thank you for the 6 jewels, a chili pepper, and the account is called Hate You. Nice name. Yeah. They look like the sort of person that would be side-eyed in a Sunday service if they had short sleeves on. Yeah, they look like the sort of person that evangelical Christians wouldn't accept, like, to be honest. With the fig tree, it was pure diva energy. Yeah, I can't remember the order of like where everything went to, but I thought that everything that he experienced was like a lesson, like of how not to act. That's what I gathered out of it back in the, yeah, I have not read the New Testament in a very long time. Jesus says that it's finished and do unto others as you would have done unto you. Yeah. So if Jesus is the Messiah, why are people following the word of Paul? That's the problem with Christian religion too. There's a lot of contradiction, and that's another reason why I never chose it. And like, there's a lot of contradiction, like a lot. And when you question it, then the priests are like, get the fuck out. You know? Sounds from the Siberian portal of hell. Yeah. Ethical, it's silly assuming that there are ever ethics present in any of this. Yeah. Person's wearing their uniform and manages to completely disrespect it. Yeah, like, why are you dressed in your uniform for this shit, you know?
I'm giving this to somebody else. Jamie!
The crossest man in Scotland.
Well, if it isn't Humpty Numpty.
What is this, surround bollocking?
Hey, with due respect, I hadn't finished. If it isn't Humpty Numpty, sitting on top of a collapsing wall like some clueless egg cunt.
I do wonder what was supposed to be being achieved here. What was the point? Is it like something to actually literally make people feel like that could be some sort of demonic entity that's stopping you from paying attention and is distracting you? Or is this just kind of like theatre kid? Is this a theatre kid thing and I'm not really getting it? I don't understand, because you can take the video back and replay it and see that the sound comes in at the exact same times. It's not in somebody's head. It's not some demonic messaging. It is the creator of the video making those sounds occur. And they are highly irritating. I know they said at the beginning, like, pay attention to what distracts you, but it's like, it's the thing you put on the fucking video. It's the bloody sound that you put on the video. If what you're saying is so important, why are you making such a hash of me being able to hear it and analyze it for my Christian X Witches series?
Fear opens a door. Paranoia. And paranoia will isolate you, silence you, convince you that you have lost your marbles. This is a strategy. I used it, so I know.
Okay, this is actually kind of gross, I feel like. This sound is designed to freak people out and make people feel paranoid. I really think that's it, and I don't think that's okay. I noticed that as they said the word paranoia, there is this intentionally like immersive, jarring, sort of like discordant sound, and that is so cheap. That is such a cheap trick, I feel like. They're also talking about how they used to use this technique of like manipulating people's fear so they could shove demonic stuff through the door of people's minds or spirits or whatever when they were a witch. And I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy this dark bloodline witch bullshit. I just don't. They're trying to manipulate people's minds now, though, through this highly irritating audio track. I feel like the manipulation is in the room with us. The manipulation is here, right here, in this creation, this abomination that they've pulled together with this horrible discordant sound in it that is intended to make people feel a bit edgy and maybe
Yeah, I think the sound's in there on purpose, and it's really annoying because they like jack it up. Yeah, as a gay woman, I feel like I'm allowed to say that. It's my gaydar. It's definitely gaydaring. Let's just say that. Yeah, no, I'm queer too, and I was already like, evangelical Christians wouldn't want you in their church. That's why I said that. Makes me think rage bait for clicks and views, probably. Thank you, Moon Syndra, for sending. What's this one? A finger heart. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think that this is rage bait. Yeah.
play into their paranoia or even into their spiritual instability.
And something that I don't see enough believers equipped with is discernment. And not just as a spiritual gift, but as a survival tool. You know that feeling that you just keep dismissing?
Oh, fuck off, for real. I can't do this. I can't do this. This is too much of an endurance test, guys. Why? Why was this created? This is so irritating.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
And the worst thing that you can do is talk yourself out of it. I spent 12 years in the occult, and I know how these spirits operate because I deployed them.
Whenever a Christian ex-witch claims that when they were a witch, they used to deploy nasty spirits to fill people with fear or, like despair, all I'm hearing is them saying, I was a malicious dickhead. I was a malicious dickhead back then. And in all honesty, I then start to think that they're probably still a malicious dickhead now, but just in a different way. In all the years I've been a witch, I have never...
It's actually a really good point. If you were putting curses on people and messing with people like that, if you were truly a witch, then you're not a good person. So how are we to trust that you're a good person now? That's actually a really, really good point. Yeah. The hate you sent party hat for 20 joules. Thank you. Yeah, this is she's still not done. I know the fucking thing is still going. Look, it's like, okay, I think that we want to listen to any more of this crap. Okay, I think she's just going to show us something. All right.
Ever gleefully gone around like sending nastiness into people's auras, trying to make people doubt themselves, freak themselves out, feel despair, feel paranoia and insecurity for no good reason. Like this whole idea that is what witches do and that's normative is so alien to me. When I hear this in somebody's testimony, I just think, why don't you just come out straight up and say that you were a nasty, malicious dickhead. You had cruelty in you and you sent it towards other people and you hoped for their lives to crumble or for them to have terrible mental well-being or whatever it is you hoped. Why are you putting that on all of us? That's not all of us. That is just you. But of course, we know why they want to create the narrative that all witches sit around doing this. And it's to satisfy the confirmation bias bloodlust of Christians who only want to hear that. They only want to hear things that match their idea, their desire for what it is we do. They want to believe we do that and that they are the Christian soldiers that are fighting back against the enemy, against the attacker. And as I said in a previous episode of Christian Ex Witches, we just don't think about them that much. You know, that is actually the reality, that when we are practicing magic and doing our rituals and recognizing the Sabbats or coming together in community, we are very rarely, if ever, talking about what the fuck they are doing. The only thing really that makes the news when it comes to Christianity in the witchcraft world is the worry that witches have in certain parts of the world, that their rights are going to be stripped, that they won't be able to run businesses. I mean, look at the situation happening in Pennsylvania right now. The Serpent's Key, I can't remember the name now, but I will leave the Instagram down below. Amazing witch who is having to fight for the right to shuffle right at this very moment in 2026. That's fucking wild. Isn't that so wild that that is happening? Yeah, it's going to trial. It's going to trial. They were just, you know, flipping cards in their witchcraft shop, and the police came in and busted them for flipping cards. That is the conversation that we're having about Christianity. That's how we're framing Christianity. It's not the spiritual battle thing that they think it is. That's not what we're talking about. Most of the time, if we're talking about Christianity, we're talking about how it's literally going to affect our material and legal rights and our safety. You know, sadly, that is the discussion that we are happening. Something that I think is a lot more real world warfare than anything they're talking about in their circles. Anyway, I honestly don't think this person deployed anything apart from my decision to rage quit this video because I value my ears too much and I cannot handle whatever effect has been put on this video for whatever reason. I'm hoping it's not for the particularly insidious reason that I've analysed it to be. But let me know down below, what do you think? And is this something that you've seen before? Is this kind of weird sound effect going to be something that I'm going to have to contend with in my Christian X Witch episodes? I very, very, very much hope not, because I value my ears and I just can't listen to that anymore. That was like really getting on my nerves. But maybe that means I'm a child of Satan and I can't handle the satanic sounds any longer. Darlings, this has been another episode of Christian X Witches. You have been glorious. Thank you for dancing with me over here at the Demonic Disco. I have very, very much valued.
All right, so that wraps that up, which works too, because I'm getting tired too. Nothing screams healthy and happy, well-adjusted member by society like casting hexes on people's bloodlines. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the whole thing, right? Is like, that's actually like a really good point that she's made here. Is like, if you were casting spells and doing all that crap, like if you were hexing people and trying to hurt people, then you're not a good person. Like, that is actually a good point. You're not a good person, and how do we know that you're a good person now? Or maybe you finding Christianity made you realize you're a shitty person, and that's why you are trying to be a good person now to make up for it. Like, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Dissonance is very effective. Yeah, I value my ears too much. 47 minutes in. Oh, hey, Ko, how's it going? NASA have launched shuttles in less time. True. You're right. Yeah. Christians tend to provoke emotions through music and sound. Yeah, and I mean, like, we do that too as witches, but like for the good, you know, not for the bad. Yeah. The focus on Christianity is a little obsessive. There are other religions that are just as cruel, if not worse. Well, this is more, she does a series where it's Christian X Witches. That's the name of her series. So, yeah. So this one is about Christianity specifically. Yeah. What is good though, right? You only have to live with the guilt, and that's an easy toll bridge to pay, mate. Yeah, I mean, I just think that I don't think that you need to murder people. You know, I don't think that you need to like curse their bloodline and stuff. Like, that's a little much. Just go see a therapist. All right, that's your better idea. Go see a therapist. Oh yeah, the green screen. I just have to put it on my chair is all. I thought I'd have to set this whole thing up. It's actually a big piece of material. I thought I'd have to set it up behind me, but the NVIDIA thing is actually pretty good at removing it. I just got to put it on my chair because the black hair, the chair's black too. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up here though, and I'm working on a video. It's like another light dip video because I'm doing a very huge psychic video that's coming. It's very, very big. Luna's actually in it. I interviewed her for it as well. It's very big. It's very different from my usual psychic videos. We're delving into a lot of hurt that's happened with family and stuff around this psychic. It's very different. It's gonna be like a lot of psychology stuff that we're gonna talk about. So it's very big. It's taking me a while. So this, I'm hoping this Sunday I'm gonna have it done. This, not the big one. This is our in between. It's a little dip where I'm looking at the Gaia TV, because I keep getting stupid ads for it and they're pissing me off. Like, this is like so dumb when people fall for this crap, right? So it's just like, it's just their content is all conspiracy theory crap, and it keeps leading back into alien astronauts and stupid shit. So we're gonna talk about that. It's very simple. It's not big. We kind of do some research. Like, I do it live with you guys, and it's just gonna be like a little dip video. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I don't know how exciting it's gonna be. I think, like, to analyze the Gaia TV stuff, I gotta like pick out some episodes of things really and delve into them a bit more. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go though. I gotta use the washroom. If there's anything that you guys want to see for next week, if you want to cover, if there's something specific that you guys want to cover for next stream, let me know. I know I had some ideas and I can't remember what they are right now, but I'm sure they'll come to me later. Yeah, it was just the EMT person at the end that was shitty. Yeah. Kelly was great. Yeah. I've never fallen into the Gaia sphere. I keep getting ads, and I think it's because of the stuff that I Google for all of my work stuff. I get tons of ads. It's like the Discovery Channel on crack, or like the History Channel. It's like the Ancient Aliens on crack. It's bad anyway. All right, I'm gonna end here, but thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out with me tonight. All right, and if there's anything you want to see, again, put it down in the comments below if there's something cool that you guys would like to cover. Okay, but yeah, everyone have a good night. I appreciate you. Okay, bye.